Boom, 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 boom. Chickity, 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 chanker. How's it going, everybody? It's the Flying Pig here on Flying Pig United with another cheeky little edition of the Transfer Daily Show for you. Hopefully I'm coming through okay. Doesn't seem to be loaded my end. But either way, I hope you guys... Oh, here we go. Yeah, I hope you guys are doing well. We've got Ryan Burberspin 9, Aaron Homeyard, PS, Jonathan Gallagher, Mark Voot, Mark Diaz. What's going on there, bro? Tony Shields, KM, JP, Eddie Benson. What's crackalacking, Eddie Bence? Mark Voot, Wakas Akram, Ronnie Huggins, JP, Tafster 9. Who else? Ellie's in the gaff. What's going on? Ruthless Sausage, Wiggy, Paul Vanderbeek, G-Wolf United, Joshua Whitfield, Primot, Jarvis Cocker, Ruthless Sausage. Everyone else, thank you very much for getting in here and joining me tonight. How are you all doing, lads and lasses? Hope you've all had a good evening. I've just had a little nap. I've just been generally melting away. We're here to do the daily transfer evening show where we discuss all things Manchester United and, of course, all the latest transfer news in this transfer window. There's been a couple of new sort of revelations and stuff like that, but nothing major in terms of Tellez. That's right, breaking news though. Another day goes by in the transfer window that United don't sign a bloody player. What a load of gash. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for joining me. Please do us a favour and smash that like button on the video if you haven't done so already. Please do leave a cheeky little like rating. Let's get on with it then. Jesse Lingard to Tottenham Hotspurs. This thing's picking up a little bit of steam, isn't it, lads and lasses? It kind of makes a lot of sense for United. I don't think it makes very much sense for Spurs. There's a figure being bandied around at the moment of £30 million for Jesse Lingard. Now, that's a preposterous figure. In my opinion, there's no way that you could get anywhere near that for Jesse Lingard. I'd be surprised if 30 million peanuts would buy Jesse Lingard, to be perfectly honest with you. I definitely don't think £30 million would. Maybe Manchester United want to get onto KP or someone like that, see if they can't get a little cheeky deal. But seriously though, 30 million quid, he's not worth anywhere near that. That is a bit of a joke figure. Spurs would be all the more foolish if they were to go and spend that like Jose Mourinho off his tits one night, phones up Ed Woodward. Eddie, I'll give you 30 million for Lingy. I need him back in my side. Why does he sound like a Sicilian gangster as well? But they all do. Like all of my voices generally sound like Don Piglioni, the Sicilian gangster that I do. But either way, Tactician Tom's in the gaff. How you doing, my brother there? Everyone stick a love heart emoji in the live chat for Tactician Tom. And check out his channel too. Give him an incentive to upload some more videos because he did some good ones on there that got a bunch of views. So check it out. Nick Pendragon says, throw Jones in for free to sweeten the deal. I think that might sour the deal, to be honest with you, Nick Pendragon. I think that might sully the deal, so to speak. But it's great to have you all in here tonight. Amruth Pawar, Aaron Homeyard, Jarvis Cocker, everyone, Chai Man, what's going on, dude? Jonathan Gallagher, Callum Kendall, Simon Bennett, Karku Orpon, and everyone else, thank you so much for joining me. So, okay then. Tottenham are interested in Jesse Lingard, but we only make an offer if Dele Alli leaves, who has been offered to PSG, Madrid, Juventus, and Manchester United. So that's what we understand at this moment in time. Dele Alli has been deemed as surplus to requirements by Jose Mourinho at Spurs. They just got Bale in, of course. He has had a couple of stinkers. He's sort of like Spurs' Jesse Lingard. That's the weird sort of thing. More of a social media star than a football star these days. I mean, they've both had the moments over the years. Dele had a great season one season. Jesse scored a goal in an FA Cup final and had a great season and has lived off that for many, many, many years. As have they both. So it's sort of a similar situation there. It's not the biggest loss for Spurs. And Jesse Lingard leaving Manchester United would not be the biggest loss for United. But it's very strange that he's being linked with a move to Spurs, because why the hell would they want to get rid of Dele and then get Lingy in? I guess Jose just loves the pressing of Jesse Lingard, and that's good enough to get him in there. He did like to utilise him when Jose was the manager of Manchester United. Only PSG are understood to be actually interested in Jesse Lingard at the moment. No surprise there. I don't think anybody's, in Dele Alli, I should say. I don't think anybody's queuing up to sign Dele Alli. Certainly Manchester United wouldn't be the right fit for Dele Alli right now. We don't need somebody like that. We don't need some prima donna social media sex melt, basically. We don't need that. We've already got enough of those. So we don't want Dele Alli coming in here. What we really want is some really good, committed, up-and-coming players. Dele Alli not being one of them. So look, he's a decent player. PSG, I hope that they sign him because that would only further increase the likelihood that Spurs would come in for Jesse Lingard. And to be honest with you guys, say what you want about Jesse Lingard. He's won some stuff over the years, this guy for Manchester United, but at the end of the day, he is just absolutely bloody Colchester Town standard. He's bang average. He's not good enough for United. Maybe that's a bit harsh. I could see him doing some good stuff at a good team. I mean, Tottenham's a good mid-table side, you know, that probably fits somebody like Jesse Lingard. But no, you know, look, Mourinho likes to utilise him. He's just a squad player for them, really. Obviously, he's fallen out with the character of Dele Alli. You know what Jose Mourinho's management's like. He comes into a football club, he ruffles some feathers, he pisses people off, he breaks down, relationships with players, and then he sells them on, or either he gets sacked. That's basically how it goes. So it's no surprise here. That could actually happen. Dele Alli leaving Spurs, and then Jesse Lingard maybe to Spurs. I don't think 30 million would. I don't think they would come in for 30 million, lads and lasses. Get your valuations in the live chat, everyone, for how much you think Jesse Lingard's actually worth in this current transfer window at the moment. Bear in mind, there's all that social media stuff and all the following that he's got and his clothing brands and all this shit. Remember all of that, so that factors in as well. There's some extra costs, extra commercial benefits from having a player like Jesse Lingard. So do us a favour and smash your valuations in the live chat here. Barnes in the gaff, he says 50p and a Freddo. Khayyam's a little bit... Khayyam, you're a little bit ambitious there, my friend. £40 million for Jesse. What have you been smoking over there, Khayyam? Because I want some of it too. Paul Vanderbeek says, Jesse, 15 million. That sounds about right to me, Paul. 14 million says Primot. Jeanette Pugh says 18 pence. Wakas Akram, 5 pence. JP says 30 million will only afford Jesse's pants. Jonathan Gallagher, 25 mil. I think maximum 20 million, 15 to 20 million, because of how much he's on, wages-wise. He's just not going to be valued much more than that. He's a gash player, guys. Let's have a look at Jesse Lingard's stats. I wanted to have a look at Jesse Lingard's stats real quick. But just to give everyone an update who's getting in here, Jesse Lingard is potentially a target for Jose Mourinho and Tottenham if they sell Dele Alli to PSG soon. He might come knocking in for him just for a little bit of a squad player, somebody that he liked while he was at Manchester United, somebody who would be available that United should be looking to get rid of because he's gash. Goes to show you Jose Mourinho's level of sort of his scouting abilities here. Who do you want to bring in? Who do you want to sign? Jesse Lingard. More full Spurs if they go ahead and do it, guys. I mean, that is preposterous. But let me have a little look. By the way, if you're just stopping in here, there's over 100 of you legends in here now. Please do us a massive favour. Smash the like button, lads and lasses. Get involved with your comments as well. Simon Bennett, he says 1 times 10 to the power of a bajillion. Paul Breeze, 35 million. That is ambitious as well. Callum Kendall says, can we have an update with James Pig? Absolutely. We'll get onto that, Callum Kendall. Harry Davies in the gaff as well. Who else is in here? Batman Night Fan, 150 million for Lingard. That's about right, Mark Voot, to be fair. 2 pints of lager and a packet of crisps. I'd say that's right. Eddie Benson, Darren Miller, get rid of both. Good shout. Hey, Alfie the Gaming Elf has just become a member of the Bacon Brigade. Shout out to you, Alfie the Gaming Elf. Nice one for getting in here and becoming a channel member. Everybody, you know what to do. All the channel members, smash your favourite channel member emoji in the live chat to welcome Alfie the Gaming Elf as a member of the channel. Thank you so much, Alfie the Gaming Elf, for getting in here. Legends. Raymond Moore is in here. JP says thumbs up, Elfie. The United Way's in the gaff. How's it going, the United Way? Matt Rush, Ice Queen Gaming, Dawn. I hope you're having a good one. Hugo Plays, IRA Sunday. Good evening, matey. Shout out to you from Nigeria, my friend. Really appreciate that, dude. Thank you very, very much, mate. I hope you have a great day. I do hope you have a great day. And you know what? I hope you have a great Sunday, mate. Seeing as your name's IRA Sunday and it's Sunday. So nice one, mate. Ashley Jenkins, hello to you. Mark Voot, Paolo Breeze, Ellie, everybody. Great to have you on board. Nice one. Okay, so let's get into the stats of Jesse Lingard then. I do have to say that his stats are pretty shit. I'm not going to lie. I'm looking at his stats, especially last season. Did you know this, right? So he scored, of course, just 1 Premier League goal last year, provided no assists. And that was in 931 minutes of football. So, of course, not used that much throughout the season in terms of the Premier League, but 931 minutes of football. Of course, 90 minutes is in a game of football. So, you do the math there. It is the equivalent of, a fair amount of freaking games, isn't it? 931 minutes. So, yeah. Shit ton of games there. I can't even do that. For some reason, my brain's melting here, guys. But anyway, you're talking about not very many goals or assists, only 1 goal in 931 minutes of football. That is a melt. That's an absolute melt, isn't it? 90 minutes of football per game, so 10, yeah, whatever. CB says, do you get a haircut, Pig? No, matey, no, it's just literally dried. Like, I just didn't, look, I've got a proper mullet on the go. It looks preposterous, guys. It's just gone. Now, basically what I just do, because it's a bit of a beast, man, to tame it. I just wet it a little bit and sort of tie it down, but it's just dry at the moment. I just haven't been fooked to get it wet and all that shite. Anyway, so Jesse Lingard's statistics, right? There's that. He scored 1 goal. It was absolutely gash. It wasn't gash. I mean, it was against, I think it was that one on last day of the season against Kasper Schmeichel at the end of the game. So, you know, he took it off Kasper Schmeichel, whatever. That's the only goal that he scored, and he provided 0 assists. How can you be a Man United player and have those sorts of stats? He should just be sacked off on a free transfer if nobody wants to buy him. Never mind Spurs coming in for 30 million. So if they came in for 3 million, I'd sell him. Because he's on a lot of money. I actually would. He's on a lot of money for what you get in there. I know that sounds ridiculous. But if you could get rid of a player like that, it's like an Alexis Sanchez situation. He's just an anchor weighing you down. An anchor with a W at the start. But yeah, 30 million, that's not going to happen. Maybe somewhere around half that, I think we can have a deal with Spurs for Jesse Lingard. I could see that happen. I could see Jose Mourinho being interested in him. Various sources were coming out earlier and saying that Mourinho loves him, and Mourinho obviously would like to see Jesse Lingard come to the Spurs as an option in their side. They've just got Bale. They're getting rid of Dele Alli. Jesse Lingard would sort of make a bit of sense for Jose, apparently, anyway. He's useless for us. Maybe we should see if he wants Andreas Pereira at the same time. That might make a bit of sense. Just send him over to Jose. He knows best. But yeah, you know, Jose's obviously... damn it. Did you see them win 5-2 today? Oh, no. Nobody likes that. Liverpool won as well against Chelsea there. We were hoping for a draw there. But look, United need to get back to winning ways against Brighton, don't we? In order to do that, we need to get some signings through the door. Like I said, I'm talking pretty chilled now, guys. I've got a bit of a headache and I'm just chilling and killing tonight. But really, I'm pissed off because really this window's an absolute farce for United, isn't it? To have not got any players in at this stage and have that sort of performance we had the other day and have players coming out afterwards such as Luke Shaw and saying that they're pissed off about the fact there's no players coming in basically and that other teams are strengthening around them. I mean, that must be very disconcerting from a character point of view or from a mental point of view if you have feel like you've lost that edge where teams around you in the league are strengthening and you're not doing enough. So look, I think it's a piss poor situation for United. We've got to get some players in. We know that our Woodward potato board is not very good at all, and they probably won't get too many deals in terms of negotiations. But Alex Telles is absolutely a player that we should be getting in, but we'll get onto that in a little bit. There's not too much more movement on the Alex Telles situation, but there is some news. But yeah, what do you guys think then about Jesse Lingard? Let me know what you think. I mean, we had a little vote earlier, but realistically, be realistic now. Bear in mind that we don't have a lot of depth and we don't have a lot of players in certain key areas. And he is a United lad. And, you know, we do have a problem at United for depth right now. And if he goes, like, I'd rather Jesse Lingard play than Andreas Pereira, to be perfectly honest with you. So even though I think, yes, if you can cash in on Jesse, get rid of him. So unless United are prepared to spend and get some of these players that we've been talking about in, so it's not really going to benefit us letting him go to Spurs and not replacing him. We need to get somebody better. It would maybe enable us to do that because we're getting some good money off of the books and also generating a bit of money. But smash a 1 in the live chat if you think we should sell Jesse Lingard. If you think we should sell him, smash a 1 in the live chat. QMP says, thoughts on Van der Beek starting the next game? Obviously, Fred needs to start as well. I mean, yeah, I think if Matic isn't available, then I would absolutely start those two probably. Yeah, I probably would start those two. Van der Beek and Fred, that makes a lot of sense based on the performances of the players we've seen recently. Definitely McTominay, no. Definitely Pogba, no. Matic, though, if he was available and fit, I absolutely would start him because I think he's the most coolest, calmest customer we've got in midfield there at the moment. Look at all these 1 votes coming in there, yeah. Every single one of you at the moment wants to, definitely wants to sell him. Hey, how's it going, Elfie the Gaming Elf? Thank you so much for becoming a member, by the way. Really appreciate that one. Asan Akhtar getting in here as well. What's crack-a-lackin', Asan? Good to see you. Tab, hello to you, matey. Eddie Benson, Legionde. Ben McAuliffe. Jonathan Gallagher. Raymond Moore. Yeah, nice one. Nice one, lads and lasses. Ashley Jenkins actually thinks no, we should keep him. This is the thing. I think if you look at that, guys, and I've just laid it out for you to try and get, you know, the answers from you in as positive way as possible, really. But every single one of you wants him gone. So what does that tell you about what people value Jesse Lingard at? What does it tell you about his contribution to Manchester United over the years? I mean, okay, maybe you can say like 2017 or whatever it was, when he had a good season, he was very good, and he's a mank lad coming up through Manchester in the academy, I mean. So is that enough to warrant a place in the squad? It shouldn't be. You have to be good enough. You can't just be there based on the fact that you're a homegrown player or that you've come through the academy and all that shite. He's got to be there based on merit, and he's not there on merit. Look at this, 133 league appearances, 18 goals, 12 assists. Now, that's not very good, but it's also not terrible considering he's probably used sporadically. But let's be honest now, he hasn't done that for years. He hasn't been putting up these stats for ages, man. A few seasons ago, he had a good season, which he's been living off. But this last season, we just went over it. He's got 1 goal and 0 assists. He's absolutely shit, man. I'm sorry. Europa League stats here, 22 starts, 4 goals, 3 assists. That's in the bloody Europa League against a bunch of farmers. I remember one of those goals against Lars Linz. They were playing a bunch of bloody farmers, guys. I've forgotten even where they're from. Was it Austria or some shit? I can't even remember now. But they were playing a bunch of farmers, and Jesse Lingard scored a goal. So I'm looking at his stats here and I'm going, what? You know, fair play. You know, he's done some good things, like I said, scoring in FA Cup finals. Can you believe, though, in all honesty, though, let's just go over this for a second, because I find this pretty mad. Jesse Lingard is not a great player, and he's been a part of a Manchester United side which has struggled since Sir Alex Ferguson have left, right? And you know what? He's won an English FA Cup, which he scored in the final, to be fair. He's won a League Cup. He's won a Europa League. He's won a Super Cup, European Super Cup. He's won a Under-21 Premier League Championship. You know, to be fair, for somebody so shit, he's actually won quite a few little things there, to be fair. So that's a bit of a surprise. He's won the Super Cup. Jesse Lingard's won the Super Cup, guys. But anyway, he's not really good enough to be Manchester United player. You can see that now just with his consistent season that he had last year being absolutely terrible. He's a headless chicken. I don't really see what Solskjaer sees in him. So it was infuriating me towards the end of the season last year when Lingard was even on the bench ahead of some of the younger players in the team that could have potentially been given an opportunity. And they would not have done any worse than Jesse Lingard did last year. Like, Jesse was just proper gash for most of the season, like all of the season, in fact. So they would not have done any worse than that, because you can't really do worse than absolutely gash-tastic, which is what he was. So I've got a feeling that, you know, he may be out the door. If Solskjaer really can get anybody else in to replace him, I would say absolutely get rid of him. If we can get that Jadon Sancho or that winger or somebody else in there, absolutely get rid of him. We've made a signing in midfield. We've got Donny van de Beek. That's a good signing. We've got depth in the midfield. We've got like 6 players who can play in the middle. We certainly would not miss Jesse Lingard, I don't think, as long as you get that wide player in there. Because that's the only one thing about Jesse. He's very versatile. I can see why managers kind of like him in one way, because he runs a lot, he's got bags of energy. And you can play him in the middle, you can play him on the left, you can play him on the right. He's quite versatile. So I do think that there'll be some interest from Jose and Spurs, but I just don't think there'll be interest from Spurs fans. He's absolutely gash. Over 200 of you watching this video right now. Thank you very much for getting in here. Shout out to the Bacon Brigade. Cheers for joining, guys. Do us a favour, smash the like on the video if you haven't done so already. That will help this channel out immensely. Appreciate it, lads and lasses. Matt Rush, how you doing there? Matty the Rush Meister. John O'Denton as well as in the gaff. Nick M, hello. David Parkinson, Anthony Muller, Gary McMusic, Robert Ingram, hello, matey. I am a little bit of a United encyclopedia, not 100% though, mate. You know, I was only born in the late 80s, so stuff before that, apart from, you know, the easy stuff like United winning the European Cup in 1968 and shit like that. You know, the big stuff, I'm not that great, but obviously post-90s, I'm freaking awesome, my friends. Anyway, inside the white line says Pereira needs to go. How is that man still stealing and living at United as well? Never mind Jesse Lingard. Jesse Lingard is made to look actually a decent player by somebody so gash as Andreas Pereira. You know, he sometimes looks lively out there, but his end product is just zilch. He doesn't do anything out there on the pitch for United, really. I can't remember anything that he's done for us all season long last year, so screw that guy. But yeah, Jesse Lingard, his stats, and the fact that he's played a bunch of times for England. Look, he's obviously a decent player, guys. I think he's played, what, 24 times, is it, for England? That's mad, isn't it? That is mad. Jesse Lingard has played 24 times for England and scored 4 goals. Fair play, you know. That's not bad, you know. Fair play to Jesse, you know. But let's remember, players like Carlton Palmer once played for England. So, you know, there are some questionable selections sometimes. Was that under Roy Hodgson? I don't know. But either way, he's probably not good enough for England ever again. That happens with players. You see that they have good spells. Look at Danny Welbeck. I don't see Danny Welbeck getting into England's team anytime soon. So, yeah, Jesse Lingard's career, stats-wise, is not that impressive, but it's also not terrible. I just don't really see what he would really bring to a side other than that late press in the games. I wouldn't want to start him in any games at this top flight level. He's just not creative enough. Those stats from last season prove that. And but certainly coming up against teams when, you know, in all different competitions, or when you need to bring somebody on and press and run at people come the end of the game, he's actually pretty decent. So I would say for Solskjaer, if we can get him gone out the door, we should sell him even to a rival like Spurs, but only if we're going to actually sign some players this season. We don't want to weaken ourselves unless we're going to strengthen ourselves. Nice one. Mark Voot says, stop the skip rats winning the treble. Only one team in England done that, MUFC. Good man. James Gibson says, I hope we don't get Ali as part of the deal. Oh, no, I can't see us getting Dele Alli. That would be pointless, wouldn't it? Although I do think he's better than Jesse Lingard, in all honesty. I mean, if you look at Dele Alli's stats, I mean, let me just have a look at Dele Alli's stats, because I'll just compare them with Jesse Lingard's real quick. But I certainly wouldn't want Dele Alli. I mean, smash a 1 in the live chat if you would take Dele Alli at United. If you would, smash a 1. Smash a 1, because I'm sure some of you would. He has had some good spells in his Tottenham career, and he's still young enough. He's only 24, that you could think that you could maybe get him back on track and get him performing. I've seen him score some wicked goals, and I've seen him do some brilliant stuff in one particular season. Ashley Jenkins, Simon Bennett, Jeanette Pugh, JK Gamers, what's going on, bro? How's it going, mate? Great to see you in it. Thank you very much for stopping by. Legendary GTA channel there. Shout out to you, my friend. Yeah, everybody, thank you very much for stopping by and getting in here. Mr. YOLO Man with the super chat. He says, not saying that your hair looks like it's green, but it looks like it's green. Good evening, by the way. It's because there's a green screen behind me and I'm just a gangster. I'm ghetto, mate, so I've got the green hair, kind of like the Joker or some shit, but no, it's just, that's not meant to happen. It's just, I think it's where I'm wearing red and there's green screen behind me and I've got lights on me. It's just a technical error on my part, basically, lads and lasses. But anyway, if we actually have a little look at transfer market here and just see the statistics for Dele Alli, 24 years of age, Spurs are looking to get rid of him. They've offered him to Manchester United. They've offered him to PSG, Juventus, a bunch of other clubs as well. Nobody's really come lining up for Dele Alli because he's a little bit shit, to be fair. But only recently. Previously, he was actually pretty good. I mean, let's have a look at some of his statistics here. So, I mean, he's obviously played a bunch of times for England. He's actually played 37 times for England up until this point. And this is where it gets really interesting with Dele Alli. When you look at his statistics in the Premier League, 157 games that he has started in the Premier League, or played in the Premier League, actually. That's not just starts. He could have been coming on as a sub or whatnot. 50 goals, 36 assists. So, an overall contribution of 86 goals and assists in 157 games for Tottenham. That's pretty freaking good, isn't it? That's pretty freaking good compared to our shitbag Jesse Lingard, who's getting like 20 goals in about 10 bloody seasons. I'd say that's pretty good. He's younger, he's better. Those stats are respectable as fuck, lads and lasses. So, you know, I can't really say anything other than fair play to Dele Alli for putting up those sorts of numbers. That's mental. I didn't even think they'd be anywhere near that. Tottenham, he's played overall 223 games in all competitions, 62 goals, 55 assists. So that's a contribution of about a goal every other game. You know what I mean? I mean, that's pretty amazing, really. So if you look at those stats, if you were looking at these facts, a 24-year-old English midfielder who still has the best years ahead of him, who's putting up those sorts of statistics at Spurs in the top flight Premier League, you would think Manchester United would be interested in him. But because he's another one of these social media type players, the players that just seem like sort of young, foolish prima donnas, we probably shouldn't go for him because it seems like more trouble than he's worth. So I don't really know what you guys think about that one. But personally, I think Dele Alli, we should avoid him. But if you actually look at those stats, he looks freaking awesome, man. Wakas Akram comments, Ali scored the goal of the season in his debut season. Yes, you're right, and he burst on the scene, and I remember in that season at Spurs, and he was an absolute midfield dynamo, my friends. So look, I'm not ruling it out, but I'm also saying we should be wary on that one. I don't think it's the right move for United right now. But I do think he's a good player. If you got the best out of him, maybe you could do the business for him. The fact is, Mourinho over at Spurs as their coach, he's not exactly the most loving of managers. He's not somebody who's going to put his arm around their shoulder and build his confidence up. No, he's just going to be a bit of a dictator, so to speak. And that's certainly the case when he was at Manchester United. When we had him as our coach, he was very much so falling out with the players, critical of the players in the media, in the public eye. And I definitely think that Dele Alli would probably benefit a lot more from Solskjaer's style of management. But get your thoughts and opinions in. If you think that Dele Alli should perhaps sign for Manchester United, then let us know, guys. Let us know. Put the most appropriate emoji you can think of for Dele Alli in the live chat. If you think that Dele Alli should join Manchester United. Asan Akhtar says, Ali wouldn't fit our system, Pig. Yeah, no, I don't want him either. I'm just playing devil's advocate here, really. I'm just feeling like, if you look at the stats, they're impressive as Fook, honestly. I'm looking at these stats, I'm blown away. I'm thinking, really? Has he done that at 24 years of age? He scored all those goals and assists in the Premier League at 24. That's mad. That's pretty mad, actually, when you actually look at his stats. Simon Bennett with the poo-poo emoji there. Ashley Jenkins with the love face emoji. Asan Akhtar says, Salam alakadim, brother G-Wolf. Right back at you as well, my friend. Jarvis Cocker says, but we have Donny, don't need Dele. Yeah, well, Dele's a different player to Donny, isn't it? I do think Dele Alli's almost like he can play like your centre forward, almost like a false nine or as your CAM. So in terms of just different options for Manchester United to have, whether it's somebody playing, he can't really play wide, but I guess that he can. He's more central midfield, attacking midfielder, I would say. He's an attacking midfielder, so he's going to play in the Bruno Fernandes sort of role. Now, Mata is 32. Mata's getting on. He's getting older. Jesse Lingard, statistically, we've just proven that he's nowhere near as good as Ali. Ali's got way more impressive stats in the Premier League for Spurs than Jesse has, and Jesse's many years older than Dele Alli. So you'd have to consider it. As a CAM, he's pretty good. KM puts the sizzling bacon emoji in there. Gary McMusic says, stop. In the name of love, Ryan Berberspin says, like and subscribe. Thank you very much, Ryan Berberspin9. Yeah, if you're just getting in here, there's over 400 of you tuning in. Smash that like on the video if you have not done so already. And please do give it a cheeky little subscribe if you're new to the channel. Click the bell icon to be notified when we post and go live as well. Nice one, lads and lasses. Becky Hope getting in there with a snake emoji. We love it, Becky. Spot on. He is a little bit of a snake, though. That's the thing. Personally, I just don't like his personality that much. He seemed like an okay guy at one point, but certain things came out. Let's say I don't think any of you should go and check it out. But it might be on Pornhub.com. That's all I'm saying, or something like that. Some stuff come out. He's a questionable individual. I'm just gonna say he's a questionable individual, lads and lasses. Jarvis Cocker says Dele Alli is English. That's a positive. It is a positive, yeah. 24, still, that's another positive. Young, got a lot of time ahead of him. It's interesting. I don't know if there'd be any sort of deal to be done there. It's kind of like, oh, you want to trade us your really shit player for our really shit player? Like, Spurs seem to have this interest in Jose Mourinho seems to have this interest in Lingard. And it seems like Dele Alli is leaving Spurs. There may be some sort of a swap deal to be had there. Do you want our shit bag for your shit bag? Well, you know, we're used to this shit bag, so I guess we'll try your shit bag out. That sort of feels like what it feels to me. So yeah, I don't know about that one. Personally, don't think so. Let me know if you would, though. If you would consider getting Dele Alli at Manchester United, then smash a 1 in the live chat, lads and lasses. Kelly Mulenga as well says, hello, hi, I am 4-0. I don't really know what that means, Kelly, but, you know, thank you for getting in here. It's great to see you. Dante in the house. Hello, Dante. How are you, mate? He says, why don't we buy back Zaha? Dude's now cemented as a top flight player. Plus, we have the sell-on clause, so £50 million should do it. Great call, Dante. I'm with you on that one. If you actually looked at how he performed yesterday against us in that humiliating defeat against Spurs, against Crystal Palace, it wasn't even a half-decent team like Spurs. It was bloody against Crystal Palace, for Pete's sake. then you would actually think that that would be something we'd be interested in doing. Especially when the other option is, at the moment, Sancho for 120 million, which doesn't make all that much sense. Yeah, he's a great player, but then we don't have any money to spend on any other players before the season really truly gets going and the window shuts. So Zaha to me actually would be a good option at Crystal Palace. We sold him to them with a buyback, not a buyback clause, a potential future fee, isn't it? Yeah, so think it's 25%. So we get 25% of their future sale of Wilfried Zaha, and that's still in place even if we buy him back ourselves. So yeah, if you could get him for £60 million, you actually only have to pay £45 million. That's how that one works. So it becomes a really good deal, and he has gone on and sort of flourished at Crystal Palace. He did really get it well against us, didn't he, yesterday? So he's a good player. He's the right age. He's a good option for the price. You could do a lot worse than Wilfried Zaha. I agree with you, Dante. There's a bunch of different players that we should be bringing in. It doesn't have to be like a big £60 million player. That's the thing. There's just other options right now. If you can't get Sancho, then Tellez is 23 million. You could get Badia Shield, 20 odd million. Upper Meccano's like 50 million or somewhere around there. You could get David Neres perhaps, but certainly like Ismail Assar from Watford is a great winger option for us who can absolutely do the business for us in the short term and in the long term because he's only 22. I'm not saying he's a world beater. He's absolutely not. He's absolutely not a world beater, but he's just a cheap player that we could get now from a championship side that would definitely come to us. So why the bloody hell wouldn't we go and do that then? We're just sitting around twiddling our thumbs while Ed Woodward's upstairs humping a pie, like Jim from American Pie or something. He's on the countertop and he's humping pies, this guy, doing nothing. That's the sort of image I have in my head. What does that tell you about my head? But either way, he's a pie humper. That's what I'm saying. I've had enough of Eddie Woodward. I've had enough of him, man. Sickening. So yeah, Dele Alli stats, pretty impressive, I would say. Over 500 of you watching, guys. Thank you very much for getting in here. Smash the like button if you haven't smashed the like button yet. Please do leave a cheeky little like on the video. Eddie Benson says we've already spent our allowance of £60 million for Mr. Potato Head. He is a King Edward potato, that man, mate. He's even growing roots out of him now, like he's been left in the cupboard going rancid. I'm sick and tired of seeing him at this football club. Even when he had the face mask on in the stands the other day, and you could only see half of his face, it was still offensive to me. It was still offensive to me, guys. So I'm not having it. I'm not having Woodward in this role at this club for much longer unless he starts to actually get these negotiations done and get these players in. But even his half a face pissed me off. I don't care if his bottom part of his face is covered. Still, his wee beady eyes pissed me off. No, Eddie Woodward he's an anomaly wrapped up in an enigma, that man. He really is. Anyway, he's not really. All he really is Glazer's little puppet boy. He's their little whippet boy. They sit in their ivory towers over in New York or America, wherever the bloody hell they have their ivory towers, and they whip Ed Woodward virtually over the Atlantic Ocean. That is what happens. And he's their little whipping boy, and he just does what they say. Simple as that. That's why we don't spend the money on big players and strengthen properly in each window, because really they're just looking at the bottom line to siphon as much money out of us as possible. Bastardos! Batman Night Fan says Glazers out, Woodward out. Oh yeah, Glazers out, Woodward out, mate. Fuck the lot of them, honestly. I hate them. They're just scum, man. It's such a shame that they own our football club. We can't really do anything about it other than sort of voice our concerns and not buy the merch and stuff like that. But even then, it's such a commercial entity. They're making huge amounts of money from all these commercial deals that they're whoring us out to. And they're also, of course, paying and servicing that debt which they bought the club with. So they just mortgaged Manchester United when they bought us, basically, and we're paying off that mortgage ever since. And they are just like a horrible, scabby landlord that just sits there collecting that rent money, smoking 80 ciggies a day or something. That's basically how I picture them. There's just a cancer at this football club, really. As soon as they go, United will probably start to improve. It won't be overnight, but they haven't got the best interest of the club at heart. We've gone over that a whole bunch of times. Hey, everyone, thank you so much for joining us tonight and getting in here. I want to just do a few shout-outs for the new people that are watching. We've got Tafster9, Warren, Jarl, how you doing there? Jarl Malmin, Jarvis Cocker, Jonathan Gallagher, Matty the Rushmeister, Mark Voigt, Jonathan Denton, Eddie Benson, QMP, Kian Pops 1, Steve Morrison, Primot, Batman Night Fan, Dave Keating, Alka Mahmood. Where are all of you guys tuning in from tonight in the world, by the way? Let me know where you're stopping in from. Junkass comments, Jay Lings must go to Tottenham. I would be very happy if Jesse Lingard ended up going to Spurs because he's just not good enough for us. If we got Dele Alli in the opposite direction, I probably wouldn't be too happy about that. I don't think he's the right personality. But there you go. Mr. YOLO Man says, press the thumbs up. Thank you very much, Mr. YOLO Man. Hyphenarian says, Ed Woodward is a calamity. Calamity Ed Woodward. Absolutely. Adam Bilawalas tuning in from Africa. Shout out to you, Adam. Shout out to everyone tuning in from the great continent of Africa. Also, John O'Denton, Stafford. Alkan Mahmoud's in Chingford, lad. Coochie's in Nabia? What's that? Where's Nabia? Is that next to labia? I'm just joking. Did you mean Namibia? I don't know. Kian Pop says, South Africa. It's great to have you in here, tuning in from South Africa, my friend. Thank you very much for stopping by. You're an absolute diamond, my friend. Eddie Benson's in Manchester. Warren's in Cape Town, mate. Thank you very much. I'll go back to the South African accent then. Mark Voot's in Dawlish. Elfie, the Elfin Gaming Elf, is in Manchester. OP Dragons in Nottingham. Nice one, mate. Okay, brilliant stuff. Thank you, everybody who's getting in here, by the way, guys. There's a lot of you in here. Let's have a look. Gooners and Below TV says, I'm an Arsenal fan, but I think Man United are headed where Arsenal are running out of. Oh, Gooners, that's a low one, mate. Definitely not. How could we possibly be heading for that? You guys finished 8th and haven't won the Premier League since 2004, lad. I know you're just coming in there with a nice comment and I'm not going to rip you down. But still. Nah, mate, you finished 8th. We finished 3rd last season. Yeah, okay, we didn't win the league. Yeah, okay. You won the FA Cup. Yeah, okay, you won the Community Shield. Big whoop, man. Mickey Mouse, if you ask me. United, we're on the ascendancy. We just had an awful game. It's so funny, isn't it? What a difference a day makes. Like, we were all positive going into the Premier League. The Premier League's about to start. We're looking forward to that game yesterday against Crystal Palace for a month, thinking we're going to destroy them, we're going to batter them, we're going to absolutely decimate them. And then it actually comes round to it, and we play like a bunch of absolute schoolgirls. And then we get destroyed, they rip us open. A shit team like Palace as well, not even one of the top teams in the league, had their wicked way with us. And then all of a sudden, we're just completely deflated. All of a sudden, there's all this reaction. And trust me, I felt that reaction too. I was pissed off with how we went about it and the tepidness of the performance, big time. But at the same time, it's only one game. It's one game, there's 37 left. Like, people are writing off Ole Gunnar Solskjaer already. And people are saying this and that about the squad. And I do think the squad's shit, actually. We need to get 3 or 4 players in before the window closes. But he got us 3rd last year, and there's still a lot of the season left. So I'm pretty sure we can get back on track. We've just had a really slow start. We just didn't really have a pre-season, so to speak of. We played one crappy game against Villa. All our players are not 100% fit. They're lacking that match sharpness. They're lacking that conditioning. And I just think that's the main problem. They just didn't have proper preparation. Now, who's to blame for that? Is it the fact that we had to play in the Europa League and that was settled in August because it wasn't usually scheduled because of the COVID situation and everything, so they did it in August? Or is it because United just didn't really plan well? We understand that Roy Hodgson had 3 or 4 pre-season friendlies behind closed doors against other teams to get a basis and get a feeling for the team and work on things, whereas United only had that one game against Aston Villa, which we lost 1-0 with our B team out. So we didn't learn anything. The players didn't get any match sharpness, any conditioning, anything. But obviously, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did that for a reason, I guess. Why did he not play a good team against Aston Villa there? Or not a good team, but why did he leave so many of the key players out in that game? They must have been a little bit tired, guys. And I think United are just lacking that conditioning where we're coming back from the off-season there, where we need to get back into things and get into the swing of things. Remember, Crystal Palace played that one game earlier than us. We got an extra week off because we had to settle the Europa League in August. So we had an extra week off, but that could have actually hindered us. Because it's longer away. Crystal Palace got back a week earlier. They're in a winning run of form with the game they had before us. So it's just like they're in a better place to go in and play United. Now, no excuses, because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had an absolute stinker with his team selection, and the tactics, if you want to call them that, were just completely non-existent. So he's not to blame here. He does have to take a lot of the blame for just how the team played, because that's his tactics, it's his team. There was no real clear vision of what we were trying to do. But also, the players were shit, man. The players have to take a lot of credit for that as well. You can't really stop the players from being shit. Victor Lindelof, man, making those schoolgirl errors at the back of the pitch. Solskjaer can't really do too much about that, can he? He can't really do too much. He can't possess the body of Victor Lindelof and say, do like a Whoopi Goldberg in Ghost and just take over him. Do you know what I mean? He can't do that. If he did, he'd probably put himself up the other end and then we'd score some goals. But certainly he can't take over Victor Lindelof's body. So he can't stop Victor Lindelof turning into an absolute spaghetti stick melter at the back there and just flopping all over the place. How can he? It's not really, it's not really his fault that Victor Lindelof made those absolute individual calamitous errors. I get the overall organisation and quality of our defending, and generally the play throughout the game was cash. But still, if it wasn't for proper bad individual defending, we would have lost that game. If you take the shit individual out of the team becomes better. It's definitely, it only takes what's the expression? It only takes a drop of shit to cloudy the water or something like that. I don't know, but that's something like the expression that I'm talking about. Ellie says, blokes who are obsessed with their muscles are usually arrogant C-U-N-T, see you next Tuesdays. Well, fair play to you, Ellie, yeah. What's that? No, I'm just joking. No, we got some muscles under there somewhere. Chip Douglas says, we have pulled a full-on AC Milan, lads and lasses. Don't say that, my friends, don't say that. We're still, okay, we might be a sleeping giant at the moment, but we are third and only going to get us back on track, lads and lasses. So calm yourself down. Calm your boots, chill your boots, and just relax. One game we've had, one game back. Just to remind everybody, going into last season, the last part of the season, the last 14 games, nobody got more points than us in the league. So we've had a great run and now we've lost the game. Let's try and imagine that. Now let's get back on track. So let's chill out a little bit here, guys. Rossard Nicholas, how you doing? He says, we should sell Pogba. Palace play with 12 players. Yeah, he was bang average in the middle there. I have had about enough of him, but I wanted to give him another chance, and I will give him more of a chance because he's here. But if an offer came in from Juventus or Real Madrid for big money and they wanted to take him, and not even that big money at this stage, but they wanted to take him, I'd probably jump at the chance because he's just done nothing for us at United. I mean, how many times has he really put in world-class performances out there that you can remember of? Put the number in the live chat of how many times Paul Pogba has played world-class or had a real standout, shining, awesome, dictator of a performance, like a match-winning performance is what I want to know. How many times? I'm going to say 5. Maybe not even 5. I can think of a couple. I remember first game of the season last year, Pogba ripped Chelsea open in that 4-0 game. I wouldn't even say it was world-class because half the game it was crap. But he still did a couple of amazing moments and split them open and changed the game. That Man City game a couple of seasons ago, which he's been living off for years, where he just absolutely took the game by the scruff of the neck and got us back into it in that second half. That is really the only time that I can remember Paul Pogba doing the business for us. There must be a few other times. I was going to say 5, but I really can't think of more than 2 or 3, guys. So it's a little bit disconcerting when you're £89 million signing Paul Pogba, who was a star at Juventus, who's a star for the France international side, comes in your side and plays like an absolute consistent meltbag. That's the problem. Like, he has got to take a lot of the blame too. How many times have we been saying we're waiting for Paul Pogba to turn the corner, or we're waiting to get better players around him? That's just such a stupid expression. Get better players around him. You could get better players around a tree and you're going to play better football. Because they're better players. So what a stupid thing to say that is. But yeah, I mean, I do think that United need to have a look at what's going on at the moment. Pogba, I'm not saying write Pogba off and sell him or anything. The lad's just had coronavirus as well. Like, I don't know, as a professional athlete, if it really affected him that much, but he had to quarantine for a couple of weeks, and he obviously did test positive for the coronavirus. So if you got that, maybe you're not going to be 100% in your first game back. I don't know. That was like 2 weeks ago he got that. So it's like, yeah, you've got the all clear, mate, you can leave now, and now he's playing a professional game of football. Seems a little bit extreme, actually. So I'm going to hold a little bit more reserve for judgment on Paul Pogba, because I know that he is obviously an incredible talent on his day, but like we just talked about, his day's only ever been about 5 times in over the 4 or 5 years that he's been at the club now. So disappointment all round from him. It's not even about Paul Pogba. Look, there was much shitter performances out there yesterday, I think. Victor Lindelof being the main one. That's why we definitely need to get a centre-back in there. Crikey, there's about 700 of you guys tuning in. Thank you very much for getting in here for tonight's video. The Sunday evening transfer news update for Manchester United and just COD talking session. We like to talk a lot of COD on this channel. Smash a fish emoji if you like the COD. But anyway, do us a favour also and hit the like button. If you haven't smashed the thumbs up on this video yet, please do. That will help us compete with the bigger channels, etc. So please do that. Chip Douglas says the Iceman has melted. Whip Lindelof. Hey, he can get a job maybe, I don't know, working in like a slush puppy shop or something like that. The Iceman cometh. The Iceman will cometh back, my friend, don't worry. But certainly playing for United in the defence, in the heart of our defence, absolutely not, no. He should definitely not be doing that. He's nowhere near up to the standard, man. Right then, okay. So let's get on to the rest of the news then, lads and lasses. So we've talked about Tottenham's interest in offloading Dele Alli. He's been offered to PSG, Madrid, Juve and Manchester United. PSG are the only interested party at the moment. But we actually went over his stats for anybody just getting in here. His stats are awesome. Like, Dele Alli's only 24. His stats in the Premier League are nothing short of awesome, I would say. He's contributed a goal for every other game in terms of assists and goals. So at 24 to have the record he does, it's actually pretty impressive. So if you look at the stats and the stats alone, you would think that Manchester United should be interested in him. But because of his personality and his character and the fact he's another social media melt, kind of along the vein of Jesse Lingard, I would say, yeah, no, we should probably steer it well clear. That's what I would go with. Yeah, nice one. So that is a possibility. Dele Alli going to PSG. If that happens, it's likely that Jose Mourinho is going to be interested in bringing Lingard in. That's what we're hearing here. I would estimate that it would cost a lot less than what the media are portraying at the moment. They're saying £30 million for Jesse. Going to be a lot less than that. Matt Rush with a super chat. Thank you, Matt Rush. He says, next week is a huge week for United. Great community. Thank you, Matty Rushmeister. Yeah, appreciate it, dude. You're an absolute legendary part of that as well, dude. Thank you, Matt Rush, for the super chat. And yeah, thank you to everybody who's watching. Thank you for this great community of people that tune into these videos. Obviously, we've been growing quite steadily recently. Shout out to all the new subscribers, all the new viewers, all the old subscribers as well. Don't worry, we haven't forgotten about you guys. You know, you're all a bunch of legends. But really appreciate all the new viewers. If you're watching this channel for the first time, you know what to do. Smash that subscribe button. Click the bell icon to be notified when we post. And also smash that thumbs up, lads and lasses. I can see we got 175 likes. Let's see if we can smash it to 200 in the next couple of minutes. That would be sick. Okay. Dave Keating says we missed out on Bale. Did we really miss out on Bale, or did we dodge a bullet with Bale? Because Bale, yeah, he is a great player on his day as well, but 31, he's a bit of a prima donna. He's on big money over at Real Madrid. Tottenham have got him on loan for the season. They're paying, it's believed to be about 50% of his wages. So it's a lot of money that Spurs are paying, somewhere around 15 million for the year, for the privilege of having Gareth Bale on loan for the season. But he's actually arrived injured. I mean, that's the reports I heard. I understand that he arrived having an injury and not being able to play for a month. Now, is that correct? Is that correct? I'm pretty sure that's correct. Mustafa Abdullahi, what's going on? Steve Morrison, Kayam, Wakas Akran, Jonathan Gallagher, Chip Douglas, Jack Hardy, Aaron Homar, Johnny Mounks. There's a whole bunch of you legends tuning in right now. Thank you very much for stopping by then, lads and lasses. So on to the next story then. So, Daniel James running down the wing. Daniel James, you got the chance, son. Go do your thing. That's something that I said at the start of this career when we signed Daniel James. Daniel James for 2 months last season was absolutely brilliant. He was a young 21-year-old lad coming up from the Championship for 15 million, only really to be expected to be like a backup for Manchester United. But actually what he did is start off the season really well and score a bunch of goals and do really good stuff. Unfortunately, since then, he's nosedived like bloody... that woman Sylvester Stallone drops off of that cliff in that movie, Cliffhanger. It's sort of just completely fallen out of the sky there to his death, it seems, in terms of like as a footballer or as a starting player at United. Like that's the problem, because he's just not he's not even in the scope of being a starter for United for a long time now. He's just going to be a backup player. That's all he can really be. I think Solskjaer's probably lost all faith in him, having started him in that game yesterday against Palace and seeing how ineffective he was and ripping him off at half-time and putting Greenwood on. So I do think that there's a good chance that maybe Solskjaer's considering the possibilities of what to do with Daniel James. Leeds United are supposed to be interested in Daniel James. Now, Leeds United, let's all be honest now. No disrespect to any Leeds United fans who might be in it right now. But Leeds United fans, let's all be honest now, they're scum. So, I'm just kidding, no. But anyway, look, the fact of the matter is, Daniel James could be an addition for Marcelo Bielsa. of course, with an addition for a wide player. He's understood to have liked him. And we've got a report here that says Marcelo Bielsa is a strong admirer of Daniel James and would like to add another wide player to his squad. So maybe he just likes the fact that he's an absolute pace monger. He's a monger of pace. And he just literally has, you know, the ability of a headless chicken, basically. Just let him run, let him loose, and let him go, and he's just gonna, it's basically like he's kind of like the equivalent of Forrest Gump. You know, like Forrest Gump, run, Forrest, run. It's kind of like that, you know, he just keeps on running into the tunnel. It's like, just no, you stop at the end, Daniel. Stop at the end, oh, he's gone. You know, that's kind of what it's like with Daniel James, man. He's got it all down there in his legs. He's like the road runner. He's quick as anything, man. But unfortunately, he's got the Wile E. Coyote brain. That's the problem. He's got Roadrunner feet and a Wile E. Coyote brain. It's not a good combination, really. The other way round's probably better. It's definitely better. So, so that's the problem with Daniel James. He's just not really quite up to it. He's sort of running into trouble and doing nothing and not producing anything for United. I would like him to go into Leeds United and do the same. So in a way, if Leeds came knocking, look, I don't think we should sell Daniel James unless we're going out there and signing Ismaila Sarr and another right winger. I mean that, like another right winger. Ismaila Sarr can be a young 22-year-old player that gets better and better and plays on the left side or the right side. Daniel James, there's possibility of him going out on a season-long loan to them as well, which I don't think that's as realistic. But if you've got two wingers in now and you let Daniel James go, I would be absolutely fine with that. And I think Daniel James, we should not write him off just yet because he's only 22 and he did have a good spell for us when he first joined. He should just be a backup. He shouldn't be a starter starting the first game of the season for Manchester United. So Solskjaer got that totally wrong. Now, Greenwood obviously was quarantined and didn't train with the side for a couple of weeks before the game. So that's why he started on the bench. But he obviously came on at halftime for James because James was having such a stinker. So in regards to Daniel James, he's got to prove his worth to this team and be a backup player and come on and have an impact and use that pace to good effect in games and not just be a headless chicken. So we'll see if he can do that. But if somebody comes knocking for Daniel James, if Leeds United come knocking for Daniel James, maybe Solskjaer might consider doing it because it does look like the Glazers and Woodward and everybody are just reluctant to spend money. Like they definitely want people to be sold first. They definitely want players to be sold first to generate money and get players off of our wage bill before they're going to go out there and sign players. That's the message I get anyway. That's what I'm looking at. Because this window's been dragging on and on and on. And we all know we need to get these key signings, centre-back, left-back, right winger, CDM if possible. Need to get these guys in. But time's dragging on in this window. There's not very much long left. And they've only got Donny van der Beek at the moment. It's a good addition, but it's not an amazing addition. It's not like a mind blower. It's not a problem solver. It's just another good midfielder that we've got. And I think he is a really good midfielder, actually. But we need to get a centre-back and some of these other positions sorted out. Certainly the right wing. So, Daniel James, if you could generate a little bit of cash, maybe. I actually really like Dan James. Like, as a person, as a lad, I think he's just a nice young lad. Remember when he came into the club, his father had just passed away, and you could see the emotion. He scored that goal. And that emotion that came out of him, and that celebration. I live for shit like that. That's one of the most memorable celebrations I can think of from last season, because it was just like pure passion from the lad. And, you know, he won a lot of people over with that. And his performances at the start were good. He's still a good young player. 22, so young. He could develop into a really talented footballer. I just think he's nowhere near now, and he should only ever be a backup. But I'd still want to keep him as a backup unless we're going to get somebody else who's potentially better as a backup. That's what I think about it anyway. So what do you reckon, lads and lasses? Sell Dan James or keep Dan James? Smash a 1 in the live chat if you would keep Dan James. Smash a 2 in the live chat if you want to sell Dan James. 1 for keep, 2 for sell. Elisha says, agreed pig. Thank you very much for that, Alicia. Mustafa Abdullahi says we should beat Luton 20-0. I bet you that's going to be a tight game, mate. We should beat them 20-0, but I bet that's going to be a tight game. Londy Loxer says no one is going anywhere. Why do you think that is, Londy Loxer? Just because of the amount of money that these United players are on? Because we know that we had talks with Newcastle about Phil Jones, talks with Sergio Romero for Aston Villa move, Chris Smalling's going back and forth with Roma and stuff like that. But a lot of these players are on huge money, and that's the reason we're not going to get a lot of them. So a lot of 1s and a lot of 2s coming here in the live chat. Blendy with the 1, Alicia 1, Mark Voot 1.5, Kyan Banahashim 1, Tafster 9, Cyrus proper shit. Last Avenger says 10. What does that even mean? Match Attacker Collector says 2, Michael Cunningham 2, That's a bit strong there, core CCR. There's no need to F Daniel James. But anyway, look, Daniel James is, unless you want to, but look, Daniel James is, you know, he's a young guy. Give him a little bit of slack. But if an offer did come in for somebody to sell him, I would probably consider it. Certainly a season-long loan might be beneficial because he's a player that you've got contracted for a while. He is young. He could be good in the future. But I just don't see him being that effective now. But maybe if you did send him out on loan to a lesser side, like a Leeds United or someone like that, to get experience and play a bunch of games, and it's not going to affect you out there, and he's not going to have those errors in your side or be ineffective in your side because he's not there. He's being ineffective in someone else's side. Then that could get him in the experience that he requires to get better and improve at this game. That's sort of what I think anyway. Nice one. Leeds. Oh, we got another Leeds fan in here. What is it about Leeds fans, by the way? Like I said, 100 times, Leeds fans are the worst fans. I'm just going to say that now. No disrespect to you coming in here, but they're always coming in here dropping Munich quotes down and stuff about bloody the Munich air disaster and all this shit. I don't understand Leeds fans, man. Something going on up there. Something in the water or something. I have no idea. But Leeds fans, yeah, questionable. That's what I'm going to say. Leeds and Millwall, I would say. Who is your most hated football club? And I'm not just talking about Liverpool here and stuff like that. I mean, look, Liverpool, every club's got their element. Every club's got their element. But I just want to have a little vote. Who is your most hated fan base? I'm not even talking about the club that you've got the most rivalry with. So forget Liverpool, forget Arsenal, Tottenham, Chelsea, forget these guys. Who do you think's just got the most shithouse fan base? Who's got the most shithouse fan base? Indy United says Leeds. Primot says Leeds players smell of onions. Liam Hardy says, Pig, we haven't heard from your wonderful Fi tonight. What's going on? I don't know. I don't really have a Fi, mate. I don't have a Fi, whatever that is. Johnny Mount, Shayton Rudd, Gaz Elliott, James Steve Morrison says Man United. You what, Steve Morrison, lad? Daz Edith says everyone hates Leeds. Look at that. We just proved the point. Danny Hoagie, Man City. Jonathan Gallagher, Leeds. Primot, Man City. Dave Keating, Millwall. Good one. Taps9 says Ipswich Town. Really? The Ipswich Town mob? Kyan Banner, Hashtag Liverpool. Mr. Edwards, Millwall. I'm seeing some themes here. Jeanette Pugh says Spurs. She's not a fan there. Nice one, guys. Josh Games, YouTube. How's it going, man? Josh Games, he says, have you seen the boy Alex Telles? He's leaked like it's going to look like his deal is done for 5 years. He looks amazing and will sort our free kicks and corners and defending. He scored 13 from left back. Yeah, that's right, Josh Games, mate. I think it was 13 from left back last season for Alex Telles and 12 assists in 49 games. That's unbelievable. And he is great from the penalty spot. We've got Bruno Fernandes for that, but it's always good to have good penalty takers. Bruno Fernandes is, in my eyes, about as good a penalty taker as we would like to have, because he just always converts them. By the way, guys, we're almost at 200 likes. Thank you so much, everyone, to smash that thumbs up button. If you have not smashed the thumbs up button yet, please do leave a cheeky little like on it. That will help this stream out and help it grow like a nice peach or something like that you water and you nourish and you love, and it grows into a nice James's giant peach, basically. That's what it could. Who loves Roll Dial, by the way? It's probably my favourite children's author when I was growing up, man. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, The Twits, George's Marvellous Medicine, freaking BFG, James and the Giant Peach, freaking Fantastic Mr. Fox. The guy's an absolute don. Yeah, that's right. Smash a 1 in the live chat if you love a bit of Roll Dial. Guy's a don. Thank you, Matt Rush. He says, subscribe to the channel. Cheers, mate. Ashley Jenkins says, is Fernandes going to be another Jemba? No, mate. Bruno Fernandes is not going to be another Jemba. Did you see what Bruno Fernandes did this last season for Manchester United? He's had one ropey game. One ropey game, of which all the players had ropey games, man. I don't think Bruno Fernandes is going to have any issues at all being quality for United this season. I think he just had a bad game. Last Avenger says 8. Ice Queen Gaming says, I'm going now, Pig, and bye everyone in the chat. See you on the next stream, Pig. Hey, Dawn, thank you so much for getting in here. You have a cracking evening. Much appreciated to you for stopping by. And stay classy. We know that you will. Johnny Mount says, the twits laid the foundation for how I treat long-term partners. Don Dahl indeed. I don't even know what that means, dude. Basically, you beat the shit out of each other. I don't know, man, but fair play, that's awesome. That's awesome, man. You know which one laid the foundations for me and my relationships? Don't know, actually. BFG. You know why? I don't even know. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. Liam Hardy says, Pig, you have an amazing fee. What does that even mean, an amazing fee? Fabian Isaac says, Danny, the champion of the world. Yes, mate. If only it was like Ollie, the champion of the world, and Solskjaer got us winning things. That would be the best idea. Yeah. What Roald Dahl character best sums up Ole Gunnar Solskjaer? I reckon it's Charlie from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. You know why? Because Charlie's from like an impoverished family. He's at home, you know, his granddad Joe and his grandma Jo, I think her name was as well, I can't remember now. They're in bed ill, you know, he's got a bit of a shack, and he's walking down the street and he finds this 50 pence piece or whatever in the snow, and he goes and gets a couple of chocolate bars with it. And then he wins a golden ticket. Now, I sort of feel like that's kind of like Solskjaer, because he's like this pauper at Manchester United who keeps having to go to the Glazers and asking them and trying to get something out of nothing. He's trying to produce that coin to get something out of nothing that these melts. And they don't want to give it him. That's right, they don't want to give it him. Actually, do you know what? Solskjaer's not at all a Roald Dahl character. He's actually a Charles Dickens character. He's actually Oliver Twist. That's who he is. Please, sir, can I have some more? No, get back to your cage. That's basically what it is. That's basically what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is. He's basically Oliver Twist. And I guess Ed Woodward may be that Artful Dodger prick. That's probably Ed Woodward's the Artful Dodger or some shit like that. But anyway, the point I'm making is we're not very well prepared at United, are we? Fabian Isaac says Igalo is Charlie with the golden ticket. Palmeria says Matilda all day. By the way, Matilda as well, man. Roald Dahl was the Don. How many good stories did that guy come up with, man? Yeah, that's right. Nitty Gritty says Bruno sucks and Ollie out. Nitty Gritty, you don't believe that. I know you don't believe that. JP says BFJ, Big Friendly Jones. Now there's a story we'd all love to see. Phil Jones eats some magic beans and turns out to be 700 times the size that he was before. Maybe then he'd be able to stop a goal. What do you reckon? If Phil Jones was 700 times the size, do you reckon his big toe would cover the whole goal line? If only we could find out some way to genetically modify Phil Jones so we could actually make him freakishly big so he could be useful. That would be great. Sort of the same thing that we've done with Harry Maguire's head, basically, you know? Gandalf says Lingard in. Nice one, Gandalf. Well, to be fair, look, he could easily have a role in this squad this season. Palmerius says Matilda. Tactician Tom says, who wants Tactician Tom on to discuss how United could fix issues without signing players? Give a thumbs up in the live comments. Absolutely. Everybody stick a thumbs up either on the video or in the live chat. If you want to see my brother Tactician Tom on. Yeah, I'll definitely have you on, Tom. Absolutely. You've been on recently. What makes you think I don't want you on? I'll definitely have you on, mate, to talk tactics. But also at the same time, we definitely do need some players. So, you know, we need some players. Eddie Benson with the thumbs up. Hey, Dean Flynn, how you doing, man? What's going on, Big God Bob? How are you doing, mate? Yeah, good stuff. Johnny Mouse says, is that where the BFG restaurants come from? I have no idea. Do you know what, though? I kind of think the BFG might be my favourite one. I don't know, actually. That kind of reminds me sort of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as well, even though he's not that big. He is sort of like a friendly giant. And then you've got like these horrible giants around, these other horrible giants, you know what I mean? And they're the Glazers and Woodward. And there's those schnozcumbers around. You know what I mean? Bunch of dickheads, basically. Bunch of schnozcumber heads. What the hell's a schnozcumber, by the way? I'm pretty sure that's right. Sorry, guys, we've proper gone off on a Roald Dahl tangent here, guys. We're supposed to be talking about the football. So anyway, Daniel James to Leeds United. If it does happen, you know, we need to get somebody else in there, but it wouldn't be the biggest loss. And there's a report here that says Manchester United would ask for about 20 to 25 million pounds. Leeds would be looking at 12 million pounds with add-ons, taking it to 17 million pounds. And a loan deal could also be possible. So in terms of a season-long loan, that's definitely something. Shout out to you, Wan Luwa, for subscribing to the channel, my friend. Much appreciated. I'm sort of in the way of that today, aren't I? Let's move over here a bit. That's better. Sort of in the way of that. Stuff's coming up on my head all the time. Yeah, good shout, Dave Keaton. Maguire is the BFG. I don't know if he is, actually. He's probably more like the Twits. He probably is more like the Twits. Because think about that whole Mykonos trip and all that sort of stuff. Nah, he's not the big friendly giant. Big friendly giant wouldn't be seen dead over there partying up with Mykonos like he was. Good shout, OP Dragon. Yeah, absolute classics. They're absolute classics, those films and books and stuff. The guy's a don. What can I say? The guy's an absolute don. Right then. Okay, so Dan James, two Leeds United's possible. I want to get onto some Wolverhampton Wanderers news, actually, because it's quite interesting. So if you're just watching, smash that thumbs up on the video, lads and lasses. Let's see if we can get it to 250 likes. If you haven't hit that thumbs up button, please do give it a cheeky little like. So Nicolo Schirra, what's this all about, actually? Oh, okay, so there's just a little update here. Some interest being shown for Douglas Costa as a possible replacement for Diogo Jota from Wolverhampton Wanderers. Opened talks between Wolves and the agents of the winger. Costa could leave Juventus to bring us in and is not in Pirlo's plans. Hashtag transfers. So that's just a little update there in terms of what's gone on there. Diogo Jota potentially being replaced by Douglas Costa, a player that Manchester United were linked to a little couple of months ago as a potential backup in case the Sancho deal falls through. So if we don't get Sancho, Douglas Costa is actually being linked with a move to Wolverhampton Wanderers. Maybe that would fit. Wolves are doing some bits today. They're signing Nelson Semedo. Also Diogo Jota's gone, but they're replacing him with Douglas Costa. So watch out for Wolves this season as well. You know, Everton are doing some bits as well, but watch out for Wolves. They're doing the right moves. They're keeping hold of the right players and they're improving. I know Jota's a good player that they've lost out to Liverpool, but still, to bring Nelson Semedo in and potentially Douglas Costa as a quick replacement, you know, they've got to be taken very seriously there. Certainly everybody around us seems to be doing transfer business apart from us. That's why Luke Shaw's come out and said that they're a little bit concerned, really, or not concerned, but he said we can see teams around us are strengthening. We're not. We need some more competition. So if Luke Shaw's saying that, you know it's a bit of a dire situation, really. Nice one. United report here also just mentioned, this is just a little source, it's from Jose David Lopez, who is some football journalist, I don't know. But it just says something that we said earlier that was sort of backed up by this chap, that it's a €23 million offer that's going to be offered for Alex Telles this week from Manchester United. So we're still expecting and waiting for an offer to come in for Alex Telles from United, the Brazilian left-back, 27 years of age, great stats, 25 goals created or scored in 49 appearances for Porto last season. Set pieces, free kicks, penalties. He's a very good player. He's a very good attacking wing-back. Now, he's not going to be used in all the games. He's not going to be perfect for all the games, but I certainly do think that Alex Telles is a great option and we should be get him in immediately. So this is all good news, but come on. We're just biding time, trying to save a few million here. Just get the money paid and get him done. Sick of this dragging on so long. It has been absolutely gash. Right then, so Alex Telles, what do you guys think about that? Do you think that's going to happen anytime soon? It wouldn't surprise me if all of these transfers are just completely dragged out into the last few days of the window, though. Nice one. So we got a little bit of a Telles update here, everybody. And this is from Fabrizio Romano. Thank you so much, Matt Rush, by the way. Everybody follow Matt Rush on Twitter. Matt United20. He's a transfer guru, so to speak, of this channel. We really appreciate it. Invaluable information. Some great inside sources. What a top lad. So anyway, here we go. MUFC were in contact with Alex Telles' agents on Saturday night, and the player will push to leave FC Porto over the next few days. United are monitoring Telles and are considering a bid via Fabrizio Romano. He retweeted it. Sounds like Porto head coach is happy to get rid of him as well, because he's come out and said, in regards to Alex Telles, he said, "I am not a manager, I am a coach, and I have to train the players. I have. Obviously, I would like to count on everyone, and if someone else came in, I would not be upset at all." So it kind of sounds like their manager's sort of reserved to the fact that Alex Telles may be leaving Porto for United soon. And also he went on to say, "I know the character and personality of the players, and I know that until the last day, be it tomorrow or 10 years from now, they will do their best." So he's sort of not getting too drawn in on these speculations. He's basically saying, look, we understand players might be moving on, and, you know, as a coach, I'm counting on somebody else coming in to do the business instead if that happens. And he also said that he's got faith in the players, he knows the professionalism of the player, that for as long as he is here, he's still going to be committed and play the games 100%. So that's just a little update from Porto's manager there. Romano also came out a couple of hours ago, just a little update for Koulibaly. in regards to Koulibaly at Napoli. Napoli manager Rino Gattuso about Koulibaly to Man City deal. He quoted as saying, he's a serious guy. If he'll leave, I'll be sad because Koulibaly is a top player. It's a difficult moment in football and you've got to consider important bids. But if he stays, I'll be happy. So that would be shit if City signed Koulibaly, wouldn't it? There's some talk of that this season. We should be looking at this sort of guy as well with how bad our backline is. We should be buying 2 bloody centre-backs in this window, man. We've got freaking Pinky and Perky at the back now. No, never mind being the flying pig. We've got bloody Pinky and Perky at the back. Lindelof and Maguire, they're the new Jones and Smalling, if not worse. So why the bloody hell do we persevere with these twats? We need 2 centre-backs in. We might have spent £80 million on this guy, but is he even up to the job himself? He's an absolute slow slab. Like, seriously, he looks like something out there on the bloody patio. He looks like a patio slab. That's the problem with Maguire, and he's about as mobile as one as well. He's about as bloody mobile as one. He's so damn slow, that guy. So I've had enough of seeing Maguire play for United in all honesty already. And he's an £80 million signing. It's mad. But actually, look, people keep saying, and it's true, maybe, that if you put somebody with pace next to him, because of his defensive abilities and his qualities on the ball and his great passing abilities, actually he was much better than Lindelof over the course of last season. I think Lindelof did let the side down a lot, just like in that game yesterday. It was Lindelof who was letting the side down. Sure, Maguire was slow and out of position at times, but it was mainly Lindelof that was letting the side down. So if you did partner Maguire with a top quality centre-back, someone who's a bit of a boss, somebody who's got pace for days, somebody who's rapid as Fook and really quick, then that would actually be brilliant, wouldn't it? And if you could get 2 players who are better than the 2 players that we've got now, then you should try and do that. I'm not suggesting we're going to get 2 centre-backs because I know our board's shite, but we bloody should do. We should bloody get these players in for that price, for any price really, at centre-back. But Koulibaly, man, if he goes to City, they'd have signed Nathan Ake, another Manchester United target this summer, for 40 mil, bargain. A player that would have fit the bill for us, had that Donny van der Beek connection, playing for the Netherlands for the next 10 years. Nice one, Woodward. Nice one, owners. We fucked that one up, didn't we? What a waste of space. Seriously, that could have been a great signing. He would have come to us, I think, as well, if we just acted quick and struck while the iron was hot. But instead, we let him go to our bloody rivals for a cheap bargain price. And when we're fannying around, scratching around all window long for a centre-back, even though we're not, but we should be, and we look at Nathan Ake this season playing for City, we'll go, oh, for fuck's sake, why didn't we bloody get him? You know, so I think it's, again, we've just fallen short in this window, trying to pinch pennies, trying to wait and bide time and get players cheap at the end of the window, instead of paying a little bit more and getting them at the start of the window. Joke! Van der Beek says Maguire and Lindelof are the new Chuckle brothers. To me, to you, to me, to you. Matt Rush says we've hit 232 likes, everyone. Nice one, lads and lasses. Appreciate the support. Thank you so much. If you haven't done so, smash the thumbs up button on the video. That would help us out a bunch. Palmer3977 says Maguire is so slow, he needs to be psychic to be any good. That's true, mate. We should get like Mystic Meg out there, dude. You're right, he does need to do that. But that's the thing, he doesn't seem to read it as quite as well as some of the other players over the years. Like, Nemanja Vidic was a reasonably quick player, but he wasn't exactly known for his pace. He just read the game ridiculously well. He had very strong, great defensive qualities in terms of clearing stuff away, tackles, the sheer ruggedness, the toughness, everything that you want from a defender. But he wasn't exactly the paciest player. You know, Rio's quick. Rio's very quick. But like I had this conversation the other day, forwards are always going to be quicker than centre-backs. Centre-backs are big physical players. That's the point. They're there to jump up and beat the other players in the air to put the ball to clear it away. So you've got these centre-backs in there, but at this moment in time, they're just too slow. You don't have to be the quickest centre-back in the world if you can read the game brilliantly. There's been plenty of players over the years that have not been the quickest that have played at centre-back and been brilliant. Per Mertesacker is not necessarily one of them. But that's the sort of player we got with Maguire. He's that bloody slow. Nice one. Asan Akhtar says Kante. I'd love to see Kante at United, to be fair, but I just don't see Chelsea giving us to him at all. That would be calamitous. Right then, okay, lads and lasses. So just a little rundown and an update for anybody who's just getting in here. Just to give you a quick, brief summary of what we've discussed in this video. Then we'll get into the comment section and have a little back and forth for a little bit. But yeah, thank you for watching and being patient. And I'll definitely get involved in the comment section and see what you guys think. But Dele Alli to a different team could be on the agenda very soon. He's been offered to multiple clubs, one of which is also Manchester United. Jesse Lingard believed to have interest from Spurs and Mourinho, who might come knocking for what's reported as a £30 million valuation, but I don't see that one materialising. But there's the interest there, supposedly, especially if Dele Alli is sold to PSG or someone. So that's an update there. Alex Telles, look, there's some reports to say that an offer has been tabled for him, but at this moment in time, nothing official. So just to give you an update on that one, the terms, though, were understood to be agreed and all that kind of thing, and we're just waiting for Manchester United to agree a deal, which should be coming in the next few days for Alex Telles. But look, they may draw this out. We know what United are like. We know what our board are like. We know what their negotiations are like. They're long and drawn out. Wouldn't bloody surprise me if they're long and drawn out till January. I'm sure we'll get Telles before then, but you know what I'm saying? Like, they're just so slow. They're just going to keep eking it out until the end of the window and then get him for dirt cheap, which is fine. But then in the meantime, the players don't have that competition for places like Luke Shaw was talking about, and we don't have those other options out there on the pitch. We're going to be playing Fossey Mensah and Dan James again. It's a nightmare. Yeah, great stuff. So that's basically it. And also, Daniel James being linked with a loan move or even a potential transfer to Leeds United. I don't know what you guys think about that one, but let me know in a minute. We'll get into that a bit. Daniel James to Leeds, possibly Lingard to Tottenham. Roma, Chris Smalling, still after him. So yeah, quite interesting. I just want to say this, actually. You know Tony Cascarino from TalkSport, by the way? Personally, I used to listen to a bit of TalkSport when I used to do Amazon deliveries back in the day and stuff like that. And Tony Cascarino has been coming out and praising the risk that Leeds United have taken under Bielsa. And he's actually had the sheer audacity to come out and say the following. He said, I think Solskjaer got a lot wrong yesterday because he should have made changes a lot earlier. There was no urgency, which is true. He said, I was watching Leeds in the earlier game and then watching Man United at 5:30, and I was thinking maybe United do need something different, which is true. And then he said, not players, but maybe they need Bielsa, which is, he's been smoking crack. We don't want Bielsa. He's a bloody lunatic. This guy is not a full set, I don't think. You know, he's definitely got a screw loose as Bielsa. He's off his teats, in other words. He says, I'm looking at Man United and I'm thinking they do the exact opposite of what Leeds do. They don't take risks, which is a kind of a fair point, but that's also not true usually. It was just that game that was so shit. Has Cascarino only watched one United game in his whole entire life? Or did he not watch all the great football we were playing in the second half of the season last year? Obviously not. He's obviously got a shit memory. But he says, I'm looking at United and thinking they do the exact opposite of what Leeds do. They don't take any risk. When Ollie gets it right, and he has got it right in a good few games, stop acting and pretending like you've seen him play a bunch of different games, Tony. He said, I'm joking. He says, they're offensive and attacking and dangerous from many parts of the team. All right, okay. So we just got it wrong then, didn't we? You've just said it yourself. When Ollie gets it right, and he has got it right in a good few games, they're offensive and attacking and dangerous from many parts of the team. Well, shut up then. That's what you were complaining about. And then he said, but yesterday they were laboured, sloppy and never had anything, which represents Manchester United. Don't take the piss out of us, Cascarino, you brat. Okay? Because it doesn't represent... Look, yesterday they were laboured, sloppy and never had anything, which represents Manchester United. Never had anything. What? Sloppy, laboured. You're talking piss, Cascarino. Manchester United were the most winningest team for the last 14 games of the season, my friend. Last year, there's only one game been played in the new season so far. So over the last 15 games, we lost. You know, we lost that one, and other than that, we've picked up the most points out of any team in the league. So, what's he on about? I mean, look, yeah, we had a shit game. It was a proper bad game, but it happens to the very best managers in the world. Who remembers like all the terrible performances over the years for, I don't know, whether it's Wenger, who was once considered a brilliant manager, getting smashed 8-2. If it's Ferguson getting done 6-1, Mario Balotelli, why always me? You know, whatever game it is, there's loads of batterings that happen over the times. Wrongly, rightly. Do you remember that Southampton game when Alan Hansen said, you never win anything with cunts? You never win anything with cunts. Remember when Alan Hansen said that? Well, that's because United got humiliated by Southampton on the opening day of the season. So this has been done before. This has all been said before, guys. Who remembers Alan Hansen, that prat, who said, you could never win anything with kids? And then guess what did United do? What did Sir Alex Ferguson do? He won everything with kids, mate. So fuck that guy. But it's a good point, though, isn't it? Like, it's only one game. It's only one game. Now, Cascarino, he's contradicted himself there. He said that we need Bielsa because he takes risks and they attack. And then he said, Ollie's got it right in a bunch of games. They're offensive and attacking and dangerous from many parts of the team, but yesterday they weren't. Good punditry there. Dickhead. Anyway, I didn't actually hear his comments. I just read the text, so maybe he said it a little bit differently as to what it sounds like, but it does sound like proper criticism there unnecessarily. After just one game, like everybody's jumping on Solskjaer after just one game, man. It's kind of sad. Yes, lads and lasses, we've hit 250 likes on the live stream. Nice one. Appreciate it, everyone. Stick a bacon emoji in the live chat because this live stream is sizzling, lads and lasses. It's sizzling. Sausage soldiers, get in there. Shout out to the sausage soldiers, the bacon brigade, the pork patrons. I don't know, whatever. But whoever you are here, thank you very much. We need more names for pork-related products. That we could call yourselves, but definitely the Bacon Brigade is the one. But Sausage Soldiers, Porky Pals, I don't know. I'm just thinking. Alex is in here, Alex the Rinconator. How you doing there, Alex? Getting that sizzling bacon emoji in there. Thank you, matey. Appreciate it, dude. Thanks for stopping by. What a top lad Alex is, by the way. Check out his channel, North Texas Reds, on Twitter and stuff like that. Have you got a YouTube channel yet, Alex? I don't know. But North Texas Reds in the house. Vincent Bullock says, so Mrs. P's not like donuts. Of course she does. She likes any sweet food. You can't stop Mrs. P, the cake bandit, from eating loads of food. She's a psychotic mess when it comes to eating food. She can't control herself. She'll literally like, I don't know, she's, like goldfish. Like if you ever feed goldfish when you're a kid, and sometimes you get a bit overzealous, and you bloody feed them, and they can actually die if you overfeed a goldfish. That's sort of what Nicola reminds me like with food. It's kind of like she's forgotten that she's eaten. She's still womping down all the cookies or whatever. She's like, oh, there's some cookies there. That's sort of what it's like. She just completely forgets. She's like a goldfish when it comes to food. Alex says, no YouTube yet. Not sure if I'm going to do that. Oh, fair play. Well, yeah, you could give it a go. You never know. What's the worst that can happen? A Dr. Pepper truck runs you over? I don't know. What's the worst that can happen? Eamon Barrett says, porky pies. Love it. OP Dragon says, see you tomorrow, Pigman. Everybody, thank you so much for watching OP Dragon. Smash a thumbs up in the live chat for OP Dragon. Have a great evening. Thanks for getting in here a bunch recently, dude. Simon Cowie says, I can't see Man United selling James because they need him as a backup. That's so true. Unless we get other players in. If we've got two wingers in this window, which is not unreasonable, unless one of them's Sancho, then it's unreasonable. But if you're saving that 120 million and not buying Sancho, but you went and bought, let's say, I don't know. Let's say you bought Neres and you bought Ismaila Sarr. You're going to get two good wingers that can play either side there, really, and they're going to have competition and contention, and then you're going to improve upon Dan James theoretically anyway. Liam Hardy says, Pig, what are your thoughts on Gary Lineker? Isn't he the smarmiest little goblin effer you've ever known? I hate that he defends his best pal, Ed Woodward. That is a strong comment there, Liam Hardy, mate. To be honest with you, look, I don't know much of Gary Lineker off of Match of the Day and off of when he was a player, but he was a shit-hot player. He was a proper player. That's what I remember, but he was a great finisher. He was sort of like the English Ruud van Nistelrooy or some shit like that. That's sort of what I would liken him to. Great finisher, fox in a box type player. Really good, but actually, I don't really know what he said about defending Woodward, I'm afraid. Sorry, I might be a bit ignorant to that one. But he seems all right. But yeah, I guess he's definitely not the smarmiest little goblin ever. He might be up there, but he's definitely not. I mean, think of twats like Piers Morgan, or, there's loads of smarm balls that you could bring to mind, Definitely more so than Gary Lineker. So I'm going to back Gary Lineker up here and say he's only a part douche. I don't think he's a full douche. So I'm going to back him up there. Jimmy Pavlovic, how you doing there? John O'Denton as well. Becky Hope says, Mrs. P, I think me and you are on the same wavelength with food. The hungry caterpillar also springs to mind. Alicia says, if I had two goldfish, I'd call 1 and 2, because if one died, I'd still have two. That is a good one. I'd call mine Flush It Down the Toilet. Ellie says, Mrs. P's nickname should be Bruce Pogtrotter. What does that even mean? Bruce Pogtrotter? Where did that come from? Is that from when you were a kid, Ellie? Did they suggest that? Oh, nice one, Vincent Bullock, for putting the donuts in there for the Mrs. P there. Nice one. Illy United says, no one will come and no one will go. It's possible we'll get stitched up in this window. Liam Hardy says, pigs on that goblin fucking Lineker. We've already gone over that, mate. I told you, yeah, he's a bit of a goblin, but he's nowhere down there with David Moyes or anything for me. I think he's all right. Let's have a vote in the live chat then, guys. Smash a 1 in the live chat if you think Gary Lineker is a little goblin effer, as he put it. Smash a 2 or anything else if you like Gary Lineker. Let the people decide. Matt Rush says, Fab tweet, Pig. Are you schnerious? Let's have a look at Fab's tweet. Boom, let's go for it. Fabrizio Romano. Here we go. Nice one. Fabrizio's tweeted tonight and said, Lingard to Tottenham possible, only if Dele Alli will leave. Let's see in the next days. So look, Fabrizio's tweeting about it. It's obviously quite serious. He said, Lingard to Tottenham possible if Dele Alli leaves. So whether or not that's coming to United or not, I don't know. But we got over his stats earlier. Dele Alli's stats are very impressive. But I don't want him at this club, to be fair, even if he is a 24-year-old England international with amazing stats. Because that's what they are. He's got amazing stats. So personally, I would say Dele Alli, if he leaves, which he will probably go abroad to PSG or somewhere like that. And then in regards to what we should do, if we can sell Lingard to Tottenham and Jose Mourinho wants to pay any sort of money at all for Tottenham to get Lingard, I would say we should absolutely go ahead and do it. Ellie says, Bog Trotter is the one in Matilda who forced to eat the huge cake. Don't think Mrs. P would need to be forced, though. Oh, crikey, I see. I remember now, the lad, sorry, I've got a shit memory. The lad who eats the whole cake, that was me, by the way. He's my spirit animal, apart from he's a human. He's my spirit child. You know what I mean? Because that's who I am. I'm like the one who thinks, you eat till you're sick, but then you still carry on. That's me. You persevere through that wall. You hit the wall, but you freaking carry on. You know what I mean? Only difference is I don't need the encouragement of the whole class. I'll do it myself. Eamon Barrett says, Dele Alli, no thanks. Yeah, I loved Matilda as well. Brilliant stuff. Batman Night Fan says, I'd take Ali over Lingard. Ali is much better than him. Nice one. Blendy says, would you play Mengi Pig? I would, mate. I'd play him over that absolute pretender Victor Lindelof, mate. Dwindleoff it all over the bloody place. Victor Vindelof, because he's bloody shit at the back. That's what I would do. Definitely play him over there. The only difference with him and a Vindaloo is he's just not spicy at all. He's actually really mundane and mild. Actually, I'm going to change his name to Victor Kormarov. Victor Kormarov, because he's got no spice or whatever at all. It's not even like having a proper curry. That's what he's like. He's not like a proper curry. We want a proper player at the back. He's not even like a proper curry. He's just like a creamy, sweet mess. That's basically what Victor Lindelof is. He's a creamy, sweet korma. When what we actually need is a fucking foul. We need a fucking foul. We need somebody at the back there who's fucking spicy as fuck. You know what I mean? That's what we need. We don't need none of this korma crap. I wouldn't even settle for a Rogan Josh. No. What we need is a proper foul or a Tindaloo or something. I'd settle for a Tindaloo, ideally a foul. That's right. And I personally don't like spicy food. I'm just saying at the back, as an analogy, we should get a foul. Ellie says, my nan looks like Miss Trunchbull. I hope she's nicer than Miss Trunchbull, though. Constant Pratt says the question is, what colour is Manchester? It's definitely red, my friend. I've said this and I'll say it again. Yes, the most successful team recently, it's got to be Manchester City. But you don't paint a whole town a colour just by being successful for a few years after having a complete rich sugar daddy come in and pump money into your club and defy financial fair play rules for a period either, in my opinion. You don't get to paint the whole city a different colour. This city has been forged on Manchester United's success, you know. The city of Manchester has been forged on that. So I think that it's definitely still red. The facts are the facts. In the Premier League era, Manchester United have got 13 titles. We've got 20 titles overall. We've still got the most titles of any team in the English Football League. So let's remember that, Liverpool fans, as well. But certainly Manchester City, can't even remember how they won. Was it 3 or some shit? Go back home. Go back home with your bloody 3 titles, Manchester City fans. That's piss poor. Or however many it bloody was. I've forgotten. They're so bloody meaningless. They're meaningless. You just bought the league. Let's just buy the league. Let's just spend billions and buy the league and flaunt financial fair play. Jokers, man. Googa Geek says, Lingard needs to find his football. He shouldn't go to the Spurs. He could get a loan for Aston Villa or Leeds. See, the thing is with Lingard, if he went to a lesser team, you bring up a good point, Googa Geek. If he went to a lesser team, he would be more of a focal point. He would be more of an important player for them. He would get more game time. So I agree, man. Matt Rush says 266 likes. Nice one, lads and lasses. Appreciate you all. That's the best thing you can do by supporting this channel, by the way, is if you do enjoy what we do on this show, and you want me to keep doing them and keep doing more of them, please do show your support by smashing that thumbs up button. Every like definitely helps us boost up the rankings and shit like that on YouTube, so keep liking away. Give it a little cheeky thumbs up if you haven't done so, and if you could give it a share on social media as well, that would be absolutely sick. Kingdom Khan Captain says Victor Lindelof is like a Victor Portaloo. Yeah, he is, mate. He's full of shit. I get what you're saying there. Johnny Caravella says City can't even fill their stadium. There you go, mate. Absolute pretenders. Simon Cowie comments, Pig, Manchester is red and always will be and will always stay red, and Manchester City had to buy and cheat their success. I agree with you, Simon Cowie. Our wins, our history, our traditions, our victories have all been built up on a foundation of qualities. Now, unfortunately, City, they've come in flaunting the millions and they have basically taken the shortcut to get there. Without those millions, just remember this, any City fans watching this, are there any City fans in here? Let me know if you're a City fan. Put some sort of shitty blue emoji in the live chat or something if you're a City fan. But if there's any City fans watching right now, it's like, yes, they are successful. Yes, they do have one of the best teams in the world. They do have one of the best managers in the world. But they would be absolutely nothing if it wasn't for a Saudi billionaire buying their football club and treating it like a little toy, which is absolutely fine. But United have had to do what we've done since the Glazers have been, and completely hindered by their ownership. Whereas before, and even before that, obviously Manchester United, we spent a bit of money, but nowhere near the comparison of what Manchester City have done in terms of turning them from a nowhere club, a team that were only successful in, what was it, like the bloody 50s or some shit like that, maybe in the 70s for a bit, the Summer B days or whatever. I didn't even bloody know. Who gives a shit about City's history? But really, they're just nowhere near that successful club like United are. And the fact that they got all this money and all these resources, yeah, it does paper over that fact. You can just buy your way to success. But that's all they've done. It's another Chelsea Cup team before that, before Roman came in. They just bought their way to the titles, guys. That's as simple as that. They haven't planned. They haven't done what we've done, which is win competitions and earn competition prize money and have the great support of a whole city and a whole globe. It's a global support of Manchester United, because of what they've done. United have impacted the world so much with their performances over the years out there on the football pitch, going back into the Busby days and before and since with Fergie and everything, that we have actually created this global fan base of somewhere in the estimate of 600 million or 800 million fans, something like that. That's maybe a little bit inflated, but still hundreds of millions of fans around the world. And that's all because Manchester United have gone about it the right way and won things successfully and had serious success over the years. We've never had a monopoly on this league. We've never been like state funded or anything like that. No, the same opportunities were presented to United as everyone else, but United have just built that sustained success over a period of time. Now, the owners come in, the current owners, and ruined that overnight. They've ruined that overnight. So we aren't up there anymore. We should be. We're still a sleeping giant. If we had proper owners, we would be overnight brilliant. If they just invested like that and got this United side back to where we should be, we've got the greatest support, we've got the greatest history, the greatest tradition, the greatest accolades, we've got the greatest stories of coming back from adversity as well. Munich air disaster, 1958, 10 years to the day later, having a rebuild from scratch. We win the European Cup in 1968 with the same manager. It's, you can't write stories like that. Half the team dead. Most of the team dead. You can't write stories like that. This is the greatest history of any football club in the world, if you ask me, for what we've done and what we've achieved and the amount of times we come back like Phoenix from the ashes. Well, that's exactly what we need to believe in now, that we can go ahead and do that again under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But there's every chance that we will struggle this season unless we make some fucking signings, lads and lasses. Right, let's get into the comment section. I'm bursting for a piss, so I'll stick around a little bit longer, but thank you so much to you all for stopping by and getting in here tonight. Over 600 of you watching right now. Smash the thumbs up and get your thoughts and comments in. I'll read a bunch of your comments out now, lads and lasses. J Blood MUFC says, safe pig, not long been watching, but big up and keep it up. Manny's red. Legend J Blood, thank you so much for that. Absolutely, there's no doubt, is there? Manchester's absolutely red. And just appreciate you getting in here. Shastad says, do you think we're going to sign anyone before transfer window's closed? Yes, I do. But I don't think it's going to be what we want. I don't think it's going to be a centre-back or enough players that we will get in. I think it'll be one or two. I'm thinking maybe it could be Sancho, which would be great, and Telles. And I'm thinking that's it. And if it's not Sancho, it'll be somebody else and Telles. Jason Dower says, who do you blame the owners? We have spent their money so badly recently. Why do you blame the owners when the... yeah, it's a fair point. I wouldn't say we've spent it necessarily that badly under Ollie. I know Maguire's not the best of signings, but all of the other signings are pretty good or cheap or reasonable and everything. But certainly before that, the recruitment was piss poor at the club. We did spend a lot of money, and there's no good excuse for that. We spent it wrong. So there's no good excuse for that. Alpha Metro says, Miyagi, look how many chances he fluffs. I get when he's on form, he runs and gives options, but he's not offering anything right now. I don't know who you're talking about, but you're probably right. The Cont comments, Pig responding to the Dan James update like the Glazers to the United fans. What's that all about? RPOD says, only just hopped in, Pig, but have you seen the clip going around of Rio talking about how he found out he wasn't getting a new contract? No, I haven't actually, mate. Crikey, I'm going to have a look into that. Sounds quite interesting. Do you find out on Sky Sports? Is it that sort of shit? I don't know. J Blood says, safe Pig, not long been watching, but big up. Oh, I've already read that one. Thank you. Super chat here from Red Baron. Nice one, Red Baron. The greatest pilot of, was it the World War freaking One era? I don't even know what I'm talking about here. But Red Baron's here. He says, do you think there should be actual financial regulation in the Premier League? I personally do, because it's not to keep the big clubs big and the small clubs small, but it's about like safeguarding the future. That's supposed to be what financial fair play is about also, is safeguarding the future of football clubs. So you don't get a Bury situation where they go out of business or into administration, or Macclesfield Town now. And I know there's extenuating circumstances with what's gone on with those clubs and stuff, but you don't want to overspend, you don't want to overstretch. When you do that, if it all goes wrong, unless it works out like it has done with Man City where they got the resources to back it up, it often works out really badly for clubs. Look at Middlesbrough when they overspent. They didn't do too well from it, did they? No, they didn't. Now look at them. Look at Portsmouth, when Portsmouth overspent. When Harry Redknapp was the manager of Portsmouth and they're bringing in all these players on huge money. Well, if it doesn't work out, guess what? You've still got all those players on huge money. And now you're not in the Premier League with the Premier League money. And now you're spending a huge fortune and you're just basically financially shackling your football club for years by doing that. So you don't want to overstretch. So I think financial fair play should be there. You shouldn't just be allowed to buy a football club, pump loads of money in there, and then leave after 5 years and leave them in a shit state. Because that's what I think the main deal is with financial fair play. It's not for me saying, oh, Kettering Town shouldn't be allowed to spend money and come up and join Man United at the top of the game. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying you want to protect them. So I do think we should have it, and I do think that, yes, United and all these teams, they're at the top because of what they've done in the past. We've got huge commercial pull, so it would give us an unfair advantage if we've got a bigger pool to spend, but then that's us sustaining ourselves. We're living within our means, and that is what financial fair play should be about. Shouldn't overstretch. Right then, let's read a bunch more of your comments out, guys. Simon Carey says, Pig, what do you think will happen against Luton on Tuesday? I'm guessing we're going to absolutely smash them to bits. It's Luton Town. Come on. If United don't beat Luton Town, we really need our heads tested, man, and some serious feathers ruffling. Jarvis Cocker says, just copy and paste James news in the comment section. What is it? What are you talking about? Oh, hang on. Oh, here we go. Wait a second. Thank you very much, Matt Rush, for sending this over. He says, MUFC sources believe Leeds United would be ready to renew their interest in Daniel James if incomings at United make him available. There you go, exactly, spot on. Have they been listening to my video and have just tweeted that out? But either way, United District reporting that, quite interesting. Daniel James, if incomings United make him available. So if United do sign some wingers, Daniel James could absolutely be ready to renew. Leeds can absolutely be ready to renew their interest in Daniel James. That's what they're hearing there. I'm guessing that's the Daniel James update, is it? Jeanette Pugh says they beat Derby on Saturday. Fair play. Well, we're going to have our wits about us. We can't go there and treat it like, do you remember NK Dons a few years ago when they battered us 4-0? It can't be like that. That would be really bad. Bloody hell. Calvin Concesso says, how likely will Sancho come to United according to you? 30% now. It's going down by the day, man. If you'd asked me a few weeks ago and I said 60%, 70% at the start of the window, 60% a couple of weeks ago, the other day I was 50%, then it went 40%. Now I'm 30%, guys, because I think it makes more sense for United to go spend that money elsewhere. Plus, you know how shit United are at negotiating. So I'm going 30% Sancho now. Go on, guys, put your percentages in the live chat then. What percentage do you think it is likely that Jadon Sancho joins United in this transfer window? Get your percentage in. Liam Hardy says, Pig, is Maguire an actual Easter Island slab? I think he is one of those statues from Easter Island Head that's been like, animated with some like voodoo magic or something. And he's like an animated Easter Island slab. He does seem to have a very large stone head, so it would make sense. RP0D says, Pig Rio. He said he didn't find out about not getting a deal after the last game of the season. Unbelievable. That is pretty unreal, yeah. But look, that's what makes Alex Ferguson such a great coach and such a ruthless bastard, really. Is that, is that he wanted to get the very best out of these players while he could. The Con says, sign Tellez on Monday, beat Luton Town on Tuesday, bidding for Sancho on Wednesday and Thursday, and Friday and Saturday, bought Sarr on Sunday. I guess that's the Craig David song you're doing there. Dylan Gill says, good night, Pig. Keep this immense work up. Thank you, Dylan Gill, lad. You're a legend. Appreciate it, Dylan. Thank you so much for stopping by and getting in here so regularly, dude. Have a great evening, Dylan. Matt Rush says, I can see James leaving on a jet plane. Don't know when we'll see James again. Leaving for Leeds. Imagine if you were leaving Manchester United for Leeds. How shit would that be, really? You're actually leaving United to join Leeds. Oh, my God. How bad's that? Illy United says, we're going to lose to Luton. Oh, no, don't say that, mate. Ryan Burberspin, smash a like. Let's hit 300. Thank you, Ryan Burberspin9. Yeah, if you haven't hit the like button yet, please do leave a cheeky little thumbs up rating and see if we can hit 300 likes. That'd be sick. Dan Tay says 50%. 50% sure that Sancho's coming. Fair play, that's a good guess. Matt Rush says 99%. You're 99% sure we're going to get Jadon Sancho in this window, Matt Rush. Have you been smoking something funny? I want some too, but 99%, bloody hell. Are you joking me? Gary Finnegan, after seeing the performance yesterday, do you think we will still attract big players? Yeah, man, come on, of course, this is United, we're a huge club. Look, maybe you could say the coach isn't the biggest name at the moment. It's not a Pep, it's not a Mourinho, it's not a Ancelotti, it's not a Klopp, all these twats. But it's still a massive club, and I think some players would like the style of management that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer offers. Shastan says 40%, Jonathan Gallagher 50%, Jason Dower says no, 0%, Primot says 0%. It's quite interesting to see how mixed and varied these votes are. Jake Simmons 45%, 420 Crusaders 0%, Batman Night Fan 35%, Vincent Bullock 95%, Alpha Metro D 10%, Mark Foot 100%. This is proper varied, to be honest with you lads and lasses, and I would say, who really knows? That's what I mean. If you actually look at those percentages you've all put in there, they're so wildly varying. It's like nobody really knows, and nobody really, like, we've all got different opinions of how advanced and how likely it is to get Sancho done. We've been negotiating with Sancho for ages now. There's good chance that they could drag it out a bit longer and get him in January or something to save a few mil, so there's no guarantees there that he's going to come even in this window. We're holding on to the final days of the transfer window to try and get a cheaper price. There's no guarantee Dortmund will sell him for that cheaper price, so my belief of him coming is going down by the day. My percentage belief of him coming is going down by the day. Blendy says, Pig, do you think Ollie plays Henderson on Tuesday? Yes, I do think Henderson plays on Tuesday against Luton. I think that makes a lot of sense. I think he'll make a bunch of changes, but in my opinion, he should stick with a good core of players like Bruno, etc. Give them some games, give them some conditioning, get their confidence back up, and just get them get that feel of it back, because the conditioning's gone. Rambo, Canambo, Meekley says, bless up, Pig, just getting in. Legend Rambo, thank you for stopping by. Smash the like on it, Rams, and have your say. A Dead Channel says, probs 35%. Constant Pratt says 55. Matt Rush says, yes, Pig. 99% sure, Matty Rush. You must know something we don't know. You know what I mean? Mick McGrath. Well, these guys don't know. Mick McGrath has played. I'm just joking. Played it on badly. The Con says, I want James to start on the left against Luton as it's his main position. See if there isn't just dust in his locker. Good shout. That's an interesting point. That's the sort of game Dan James should be playing in. He should be playing in these League Cup games against Luton Town. He shouldn't be playing in these big games starting the season in United's first 11 against Palace. No. He should be an impact sub or playing in these lesser games. And I think, yeah, keep him. If you're not going to improve and get two wingers in this window, keep Dan James, because he can deputise on the left-hand side for Rashford when needed. Wazame Raga says 100% or I'm killing someone. Bit extreme there. Make sure you don't. Illy United says all fake fans attacking Ollie. That's it. I mean, people do have different opinions, but I personally don't get all the Ollie hate at all. I think they're melts, these people. Absolutely, Becky Hope. She's a melt. Double M word. How's it going? Nicholas Critchlow. Nanette Giggs says the scenes if Luton dumps us out on Tuesday. I don't even want to think about that. Gene Carter says 25%. Yeah, there's a lot of varying and a lot of people starting to wane now with their belief in Sancho coming. Dazza says Zidane could easily walk into Real because they were already established winners. Ollie has a whole different situation. So true, you can't even compare it. Ollie's not got much management experience before United, but I think he's done a good job considering that. And it is a rebuild job. It's a transition job. He can't just be expected to do it all overnight. Lucy Galbraith says 100% the Glazers don't want the smoke if we don't get him. So true. They're going to spend money in this window. You're so right. They do not want the smoke. That's such a good way of putting it. They're going to get smoked out of Old Trafford if they don't sign some quality players in this window. Jarvis Cocker, yes. Matt Rush, Eamon Barrett, 90% United way. Matt's been in my stash. Nice one. Illy United, 420 Crusaders. He has two. Calvin Concesso, can Mengi help with our defensive problems? That wasn't a fart, by the way. I just sort of squeezed something down there and it made a noise. Liam Hardy says, Pig, have you seen Tenor? Absolute load of bollocks. I haven't, mate, no, but it sounded mental. Junior McKenzie, 10,000%. Simon Cowie says, Pig, what are we waiting for to sign Tellez? No idea, mate. We're waiting for Ed Woodward to, I don't know, wake up from this goddamn nightmare or something. He's off his tits. He's not, I don't know what he's doing. He's probably on an acid trip right now. Paul Vanderbeek says, Vincent Bullock, I will try my best to score a hat-trick. Good man, Paul Vanderbeek. Much appreciated. Loving Donny at the club, though. I think he's going to be good. Shout out Jade Spencer. Thank you for getting in here. Where's my money? Says, hey, Mrs. P. Matt Rush says, subscribe to the channel. Batman Night Fan says, play Marcion on Tuesday. Lucy Galbraith. Hi, Mrs. P. Hope you're good. There's Mrs. P. Hey, where's my money? Where's my money, man? Give me back my money. Where's my money, man? The Saint says 0%. Am I reading the same comments over again? Or what? Tenet was incredible, says the Saint. How are you doing, the Saint? The Saint lad. Primot says, Pig, you're a goddamn legend. Thank you, mate. Appreciate that one. Right, I'm getting a cotton mouth here, guys. My mouth is drying up here. Matt Rush says we've hit 292 likes. Guys, it wouldn't be right if we didn't hit 300 before I go. So if you're just getting in here or you haven't hit the like button, please do leave that like on the video. That will help us tremendously. It will help us compete with some of the big corporations out there. You know the ones reporting on these football business. You know the ones, the Sky Sports, some of the other freaking gash as well. Some of the bland stuff out there that's got big numbers. It will help us compete. So smash that like button. If you enjoy what we do on this show, subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. Get involved. We cover United with unadulterated, unrivaled passion, lads and lasses, on this channel. That's what it's about. It's about the passion, the fan passion of you guys, of me, of everybody involved. That's what this channel's about. It's a passionate fan channel to do with Manchester United. So get involved for the ride. Smash the subscribe button. Smash the like on it. Come back regularly. We do these 2 videos every single day. 2:30 time, usually 3 p.m. round about there. And 9:30 p.m. during the transfer window. We do watch-alongs for every single game. Obviously, a lot of you know this, but if you don't know that, get involved. Smash the like on it. Subscribe and tune in. Legends. And we've done it. We've smashed 300. Get in there, you beauty. Have some of that. Come on, my son. Stick that up your jumper, David Moyes, you ginger goblin. Why not? Any excuse to have a bit of banter, David. Manso expresses, there you go. Be always passionate about United. Come on, United, mate. Absolutely. If you want some passion, go and watch my rant after the game yesterday. Watch it. If you're new to this channel, you haven't seen the rant, go and watch my rant on the channel. Because it is passionate, my friends. That's what we get on this channel, okay? That's right. Thank you, Lucy, Lynette Giggs, Jason Dower, G-Wolf United. Is it Epic? Oh, mate, G-Wolf says Rocket League is free on Epic in 3 days. Sick, G-Wolf. Thank you very much for letting me know. I'll definitely get it then, because I don't have it. I think I've got it on Xbox, actually, but I need to get it on PC. That's where it's at. The Saint says United's... Oh, okay, then. Nice one, The Saint. Yeah, fair play. I agree with you personally. I just don't necessarily want to say the words of negativity on the channel. But I personally do agree that the United bland is gash. That's my personal opinion. But there you go. You know, that each to their own, honestly. I've got no problem. That's what football's about. Different opinions. Different football and opinion. Lucas Walsh, how you doing? Where's my money? Fair play. There you go. JP, Liam Hardy, what's going on? I don't think we'll ever get rid of the Glazers, mate. I don't know. I mean, one day, surely some rich billionaire or somebody's got to have a fancy in for United. It's one of the greatest clubs in the land. You see all these other clubs getting taken over by rich people. Why not United? Lucy Galbraith, that is not good, is it? If I literally make you piss yourself, literally, that's not good. If you mean literally, like literally, that's not good, Lucy. But either way, you know, I suppose it is good. Ryan Burberspin, worst football opinion, says Sancho is overrated. I love it. Worst football opinion says Sancho is overrated. That's brilliant. Great account you got there. Father Biocca says Glazers out. Good lad, Father. A dead channel. Batman Night Fan, thank you. Andrew Perry, thank you. Happy Sunday, everyone. Khalid Mahidin, do you think Ollie is the issue? No, I don't. I think our squad and our owners are a bigger issue than Ollie. Ollie got us third last year with a bang average squad, so I don't think he's the problem. Not at the moment, anyway. Evening football with Brownie. We're just wrapping things up, and thank you so much for getting in here, matey. Really appreciate you stopping by. Okay, guys, I'm going to leave it there because we've just been rambling on, but shout out Primot, Liam Hardy, Mrs. P, Father Biocca, Simon Cowie, Matty the Rushmeister says subscribe to the channel. Thank you, Matt Rush. Liam Hardy, Jam Tayag, Lucy Galbraith, Mark Voot, Jonathan Gallagher, Liam Hardy, G Wolf, Illy United, Mrs. P, Khalid Mahidin, Junior Mackenzie, Nicholas Critchlow. Absolute legend you are, Nicholas, and everybody else as well. Tom, Matt Rush, Jarvis Cocker, Bones Brigade 2020, great to see you. J Blood MUFC says Ollie in, that's what I'm talking about. Passionate lad, J Blood, get in there. Jamp as well, Bones Brigade, Ryan Berber, The Cont, Calvin Concesso, Plymouth, A Dead Channel, Alchem Mahmood, Batman Night Fan, Becky Hope. I feel like I'm repeating myself now, so I'm going to leave it there, guys. But thanks for watching this show. Before you go, please do us a favour, smash the like on it. Come back in a few minutes when this video is finished and have your say on anything we've talked about. What do you think about Dele Alli? Is he good enough for United, possibly? What do you think about Lingard to Spurs? What do you think about Dan James to Leeds? Come back and have your say. If I didn't respond to you, I apologise. I try to respond to everybody. Urshad Parker says the Glazers suck. I'm totally on board with that one, Urshad. Everyone else, Jamp Tayag, Mrs. P, JP, Simon Cowie, Matt Rush, have a great evening, everybody. Illy United, John O'Denton, Lucy Galbraith, Batman Night Fan. Stay classy, come back, have your say in a few minutes. This is the pig. See you on the next one. Nice one, lads and lasses. Batman Night Fan says we hit 316 likes. That is absolutely sick. Thank you, guys, for everyone who smashed the thumbs up on it. This is just the Patreon credits to say thank you to all the patrons for subscribing on Patreon, and also tier 2 channel members also appear on this list also. You know, shout out to all the members who help me do what I do and support this channel in that way. It's awesome. Appreciate not everyone can be a channel member though, so I'm not saying, you know, I just want to say thank you everybody who watches, you know, whether you're a member or not or whatever. If you've been subscribed for years or you're new, just thank you for watching. Thank you for getting involved. The best thing you can do is smash the like on the vid. If you smash the like and interact with this channel and share it even, that is the best thing you can do to support this channel. So if you like what we do, please consider doing that. Shout out Mr. YOLO Man, have a great day. Alchem Mahmood, Where's My Money, JP, Lee Osborne, Ryan Burbernine, Jonathan Gallagher, John O'Denton, Mrs. P, Liam Hardy, Becky Hope, Mark Vu, and everybody else. All the moderators, put a love heart in the live chat for the moderators, every single one of them, for keeping this community awesome and safe and legendary. Thank you, guys. Have a cracker. This is the pig.